Well, hello everyone. It's 1 p.m. UK time, and I am incredibly excited about giving you this trading webinar. We've got some amazing new slides for you. Just let me know that you can all hear me loud and clear. I want to make sure that that's the case. I'm going to just be setting things up on the screen right now. Like I said, I want to make sure everybody can hear me loud and clear. Just put it into the chat box that you can hear me. There's a little poll at the bottom of the screen as well that you can see. I want you to do that poll because we're going to make this, as I do with all my webinars, we're going to make it interactive. It's going to be 2 hours long. I want you to get pen and paper. You're going to get a whole bunch of information. I tell you what you're going to get. Not only are you going to get my experience as a hedge fund manager over the last 10 years of doing that and 20 plus years of trading, but you're also going to get a couple of free ebooks at the end of the webinar just for watching. I'm going to tell you how to download some free software. Now, in my last webinar, somebody had a query. He said, no, it's not free. It's not free. You said it was going to be completely free. We have to pay for this, that, or the other. I said, no, you don't. So there's a lot of confusion. It's going to be completely free. There's no preconditions or anything like that. And when I told him that afterwards and pointed out the fact, he hung his head in shame. So you're going to get free software, you're going to get free ebooks, free infograms, all the rest of it. Okay, so like I said, grab your pen and paper as people sign up and get going on this. Edmundo, I love you. Edmundo's always on my webinars. He's out of Mexico. Love you for it. Okay, so let me tell you, as you know, people are coming on board now. Okay, grab a pen and paper and something to drink. Turn off the TV. Don't try and multitask, because in the next 2 hours, the great thing about webinars, unlike seminars in a physical room, the great thing about webinars is that I can reach you, I can be in the office, I can do all of this and then go back to work. So so that's why I can log out a couple of hours. I'm going to show you some live trades. I'm going to reiterate some of the most important points again before, and I've got a whole bunch of new stuff based on the questions and the feedback you've all been giving me as to what you want to see, where you're having the toughest problems. And the great thing, as I say, about webinars is I get to crowdsource from all of you, all the information, all the areas where you're finding it difficult in trading. And that way I can help more of you and I can keep in touch with my finger on the pulse of what it is that you're all finding problems with. Edmundo, you're an apprentice. I will indeed give you a call. We'll have a chat maybe tomorrow. Okay, so don't worry about that, Edmundo. Now, let me tell you some of the key sources where I get my information from. I always do this when people are signing up and they're going through the registration process. Let me tell you where I'm getting the information. Myself, is 10 years since I launched my hedge fund. We launched it as a British asset management company, but the fund is domiciled in the Cayman Islands. That's when we launched it, when Cayman wasn't a dirty word. Then it became a dirty word about 6 years ago, and so we re-domiciled the fund into Luxembourg. Now we're out of the EU, so we're going to wonder about what we're going to do, where we're going to place the funds. We've got about 100 million euro under management. That's small in the hedge fund world. Okay, so in one sense, over the last 10 years, I've come a long way. I've gone from being a private investor to having 100 million euro under management. In another sense, you know, it's small. It's not George Soros type levels, but that's my ambition over the next 10 years from here, get to about $1 billion under management. Okay, but the most important thing is right now, what I want to teach you as private investors is how I made that journey myself from being a private investor, okay, into being a professional trader and the kinds of returns we should be expecting. Very few of you want to know the journey of how you set up a hedge fund, but for those who do, we'll do that in the frequently asked questions, or the FAQs, the Q&A rather, at the end of the webinar. And in the Q&A, I'll go through every single question you've ever had and all the rest of it. My job, as well as giving my experience of 10 years as a hedge fund manager, is to give you, and I'm going to show you my credentials, I do this in all my webinars, is to give you my expertise as somebody who's been teaching people how to trade. Because obviously, as the CEO of my fund, I've got to teach my 20-somethings how to trade, get them on board, because I don't want to be the one sitting in front of the screen. I want them sitting in front of the screen. So I, as the boss of the company, can do what's most important for me to do, which is go out and raise capital from institutions, pension funds, and so on. My credentials, well, over the last 20 years, 18 books published by the Financial Times. And I'll show you those. To just let you know what my credentials are. Okay, you're dealing with a proper expert. Actually, you're dealing with the world's global authority on online trading, which is me. Where's my name? There we go, right at the top of the book. The reason I show you that is just so you know where all the information is coming from. It's coming from published sources, published by the most reliable name in finance in the entire world, which is the Financial Times. as well, and my 200 columns in the FT, my Diary of an Internet Trader column. So you've got all of that in the next 2 hours. Basically, you've got more information in this in 2 hours than you'll have from any other course, any other person anywhere in the world, because there's nobody else who's a hedge fund manager who's got 18 books and published by the Financial Times as a newspaper and runs money. Okay, so I'm the best of the best. If I sound arrogant and cocky, that's because I'm on your side, and you want somebody on your side who's a bit arrogant and cocky because, hey, that's what you want on your team. Dharmesh said he bought on Amazon. You know what? You can buy it for next to nothing on Amazon because it's 20 years old. Don't buy it. Don't buy it, because I'm going to give you all the information from that book in this webinar. But if you do want to buy it, you can probably pick it up for pennies because it's 20 years old. I wrote my latest book about last year. Anyway, this is not about the books. This is about trading. Let me get on with the slides. Some of the most important slides. I've got a whole bunch of brand new ones, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do after taking you through some of these really important slides, some which you've never seen before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to next after that show you some live trades we've got on, so because that's the best way. It's the best way. Show, don't tell. I'm going to show you live trades so that you can learn the top tactics of the top traders in the world, the top tactics of the top traders in the world. That's what I'm going to give you in the next 2 hours. And then after the slides, I'm going to take you through my business plan, because I want you to have a business plan. If you do not have a trading goal, which is effectively your goal for life, okay, you won't achieve it. If you don't have goals and you don't achieve them, you're just always going to be on webinars, seminars, looking for the next educational course. I want you to graduate into becoming full-time traders, or topping up your income from your salary or your pension through trading. And our goal is going to be really simple in this webinar, because simple goals get achieved. Our goal is to teach you the tactics and the techniques so that you earn 500 to 1,000 extra a month. That is it, because trading is a scalable business. It is an entrepreneurial business which requires no costs, no running costs. That makes it the best and most ideal business in the world. You can get going straight away, because if you're listening to this through the internet, well, you've already got all the tools you need and all the infrastructure costs you need. All I've got to do is teach you the skills, and those skills are scalable. Write that down, write it into big capital letters. It is scalable, which means if you can learn to make 500, you can make 1,000. If you can do 1,000, you can do 2,000. You can do 2, you can do 4,000. That is my job, to teach you that, is how to learn that skill. And it's the same skill as driving. Okay, so think of me as your driving instructor. Let's get through some of these slides so you don't have to look at a boring screen. Okay, how do we trade now? Some of you may have seen this infogram already that I created. How do we trade in 2016? And I tell you what, there's nobody out there who understands how to trade unless they're a hedge fund manager. It's as simple as that. Full-time teachers are not practitioners. Okay, so all these people with their academies and schools, forget it. You need somebody like me teaching you. Okay, so let me tell you, trading online has moved. Now, I'm going to read from the screen. So don't worry if you can't see it. I'm going to actually read it, and I'm going to add to it and explain it. All right, and then we're going to go to some live trades, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to show you all the techniques and tactics we use as professional hedge fund managers so you can copy them. Now, trading online has moved on. I wrote my first book about online trading back in 1998, published by the Financial Times. So I am the global leading authority, like I told you. Okay, and I can tell you it's moved on so much in the last 20 years. It is so much easier. And in this webinar, I'm going to show you how much it's moved on so you can copy that. It is a hell of a lot easier and simpler than it's ever been. But it requires processes. And I'm going to teach you those processes. It is thanks to online trading that I've been able to travel the world. And you can see the pictures there. Meet royalty. The likes of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have reached 200 million people on the BBC. I'm next on August the 5th. If anybody want to meet me after the show, come to BBC headquarters, 6 a.m. I'll be off air. I broadcast to 300 million people, and people like Bill Clinton, who might be the first gentleman very soon. Okay, but it's process. The reason I evangelize and want people to trade and want you all to get excited about trading is because I want to share that. I mean, you know, why would you not evangelize about something you love? Everybody, right? Whether it's a Donald Trump or a Alan Sugar or whoever they are, they evangelize about what they love. Warren Buffett evangelizes about business and fund management. When you love something you do, you want to go on about it. All right? Okay? Because, and I suppose those 4 images sum it up for me, fame and fortune. Okay, but there's something else you don't see in there. And everything to do with success and happiness in life, for some reason, begins with F. Fame and fortune, but what you don't see in there is fun and fulfillment and funds, money. Okay, and I want to share that with you. I'm going to show you the processes. All right, so enough of that. Let me show you in terms of overview the processes you're going to learn in this webinar, because I know some of you are going to be really impatient. You say, get on with it, Alpesh, get on with it, get on with it. Okay, I'm getting on with it. Don't worry if you can't see the screen, it's really small or it's blurry. Refresh the screen if you want. I'm going to read everything that's on screen, so you don't need to worry about it. All right, I just want to show you these nice little images. The overview of the processes I'm going to teach you in this webinar are how to get 9 to 12 opportunities through a quick market scan. All right, so you scan the market very quickly and you find 9 to 12 opportunities every time you scan it. That is it. Okay, why do I say quick? Because you should not monitor the markets for more than 15 to 30 minutes a day. And I'll explain very importantly why. Don't take my word for it. That's what some of the world's leading hedge fund managers tell me. So what are they doing for the rest of the time? Well, the rest of the time, they're doing their accounts, they're auditing, their compliance issues, managing their staff, or most importantly, raising capital. That's what I do. Okay, I'll be flying out. I'm going to be jet setting again around the world, raising capital for the fund, from pension funds, from family offices, and so on. And it's the same reason I'm going to show you why you shouldn't be looking at the markets for more than 15 to 30 minutes in this webinar. Okay. I'm also going to show you the most important thing of all to free up your time, how to place a trade with a trailing stop loss. The most critical thing is knowing where to place that. I'm going to teach you that the same way hedge fund managers do it, and the 10% of private investors who actually are profitable. I'm going to show you how you can copy that and mimic it. Okay, everything I show you is going to be incredibly simple, so that even the 80% of you who are beginners can do it, or the 40%, sorry, the 20%, my maths is going wrong, the 20% who are not beginners can improve upon what you're already doing. Got it? We're going to teach you in a way the processes so that you always pick your best one trade each day. Just because you're going to scan 9 to 12 opportunities in a day doesn't mean you do 9 to 12 trades in a day. You're going to do your very best one. Quality over quantity. That is the secret to success in all things in life. Quality over quantity. I'm going to give you a lot of secrets. I want you to write that down. I'm going to call them all secrets. You know why they're secrets? Because most people, even if they know them, don't bloody well do them. I'm going to be a bit harsh with you, because you would expect that from a mentor, from somebody who loves what he does and wants others to practice it properly and correctly. I might get a bit harsh. Don't get offended. Okay, the other thing I'm going to teach you is you should only be learning from hedge fund managers. Never, ever learn from full-time teachers or people who've got teaching companies. And I'll tell you why. Trading is for practitioners. You didn't learn driving from somebody who was an academic, did you? You learned it from somebody who bloody well drove. Okay, you got to learn from money managers, people who have the responsibility of managing other people's money, not people who just trade on their own account or are full-time instructors. Don't learn from wannabes. Don't learn from has-beens. Don't learn from ex-money managers or former fund managers, because it's your money you're risking at the end of the day. It's your money you'll be blowing up. All right? 25 trades per month is going to be ample, and I'm going to show you the mathematics of why. And I also want you to watch out for scams. How do you watch out for scams? There's a lot of people out there. Okay, everybody claims to be a coach nowadays. I'm the father of the coaching industry of trading. You know how I know I'm the father of it? Because I'm the only one who's been published by the FT 20 odd years ago. So all these other people who just plagiarize my books, or you can tell I'm the father of the industry. You just look and you find my Financial Times published books from 20 years ago, and you think, hey, none of these guys were around back then. So it must be Alpesh. I'm the father of the industry. All right. And I can tell you, anybody who uses the words institute, academies, university, school, all right, they're trying to scam you. I went to Oxford University. That is a university. Just by sticking trading or Traders Institute or Trading Academy or Trading University or Trading College or Trading School does not make it genuine. Watch out for the scammers. All right. The other thing I'm going to teach you is your trading plan. You should aim for a goal of 100% return per annum, okay, before any costs. And I'm going to make sure your costs are zero, okay? You're not going to have weekly costs. You're not going to have monthly costs, because I'm going to show you how you make sure you have no monthly or weekly or annual costs, okay? That's what we're going to do. Right now, let me take you through some more stuff, really incredibly important stuff. Why did I say only 15 to 30 minutes? Don't worry, as I said about the text, I'm going to read it out for you. So you don't think, why did I say we should only be looking to do 15 to 30 minutes per day? You should never, ever be a screen slave. I am not trying to free you up from your financial problems of not having enough in a pension, or your income from your job, or from being unemployed, or being on sick leave or whatever, only to create a new slave master for you, okay, which is a computer screen. You should never be a screen slave. You should never, ever be any longer need to be sitting in front of a computer screen. All right. The more time you spend in front of a screen, the less your hourly income, and the more you will trade out of boredom and frustration, which means you're doing low quality trades, which means you're doing bad trades, which means you'll lose money. The only way I discovered for people not to do bad trades is to take them away from a bloody screen. And I'll show you how I do that. Moreover, by getting you away from a screen forces you to pick your very best quality trades each day, because you know you're going to be in front of the screen for a very short period of time. You better pick your one best trade. And over a month, that should be around 25 trades eventually when you're proficient and skilled. Okay, giving you ample trades, giving you ample diversification, but also making sure you're trading at a small size so you reduce risk, because you're going to do 25 trades in a month. So you can afford to do small position sizes on each one. Got it? Solves all your major problems. But I'll go through this as we work through. It's these little processes. When you listen to them, you'll think, wow, that makes sense. That's logical. So you're not just trusting me. You're going to trust the logic that I give you. And the logic I give you is not mine. It's from the world's leading traders who were in my first book, Mind of a Trader. Got it? And became my mentors. So in these 2 hours, I'm compressing 20 years. These are not just 2 hours that I want you to concentrate on. These are 20 years. 20 years of saving you reading, 20 years of saving you going to bloody seminars and conferences and all the rest of it. I am trying to do accelerated learning. All right. So why did I say 25 trades per month? For this reason, it is more than possible with just 25 trades per month to hit a target of 100% return per annum, as I'm going to show to you on this webinar. Okay, we found that if people do fewer trades, they trade too large a size. See, if I say to them, do less than 25 trades, they'll try and do really big sizes. And so if they have a loss, they lose a lot. So that's why we don't want them to do less than 25 when they're proficient, but we don't want them to do more than 25, because what we found is when they do more than 25 in a month, they start turning their positions over too frequently, and they do lower quality trades with smaller gains, just so they feel active. How many of you, put your hands up, have ever wanted just to be busy instead of actually, never mind being busy, you forget the fact, what is it I'm doing? You forget your end goal just to keep active, so you don't have to think about it. My job is to make sure quality, and a very key focus, money in your bank account, because that's what hedge fund managers are all about. We're all about making money for a very simple reason. Our investors will say to us, how much will this make me? How much will this make me? It is the most bloody-minded, money-focused business in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. With that, you can donate to whatever charities you want and so on and so forth. Okay, you can do good works. But trading and making money of itself is not fulfilling. It is fulfilling to the extent it buys you freedom. But it is going to be very focused on making money as this webinar. So don't think that I'm just, you know, the guy off Wolf of Wall Street. Right? Now, is 100% return per annum realistic? Is that realistic? Okay? Is that something which can really be done? Let me tell you something. Let me show you something. All right? Which is really critical. My mentor, Bill Lipschutz, global head of foreign exchange at Salomon Brothers, when Salomon Brothers was the largest foreign exchange trading bank in the world, and he was global head of foreign exchange. His boss was the chief executive, who was Warren Buffett. Most people don't realize Warren Buffett was the chief executive officer of Salomon Brothers. Bill Lipschutz became my mentor. If you want proof of that, he's in my book, Mind of a Trader. I interviewed him for that book. He was my mentor. And as my mentor, he taught me how to trade full-time and then set up my hedge fund. Now, Bill Lipschutz was basically, therefore, the largest foreign exchange trader in the world, bigger than George Soros at the same time, all right? And Bill said to me, as a hedge fund, you're not going to make 100% per annum. But as a private investor trading on your own account, you are. Because on your own account, you don't have any shackles or any bank costs or any rules, okay, about where and what you have to trade. And that's why it's great being a private investor. As a hedge fund manager, you've got all sorts of rules. And I've got, look, rental alone is £15,000 a month for my offices in Mayfair. Okay, £15,000, let alone staff costs, let alone subscriptions to data and all the rest of it. All right. And I've got to have that. I've got administrator costs, custodian costs, accountant costs, auditor costs. I've got all of those costs. By the way, all those coaches who now claim to be hedge fund managers, okay, you can just tell they're not. Just ask them, where are your hedge funds domiciled? What's your GPLP structure? Who's your custodian? Who's your administrator? They won't be. They'll look at you, go, huh? What now? What? Huh? Right? That's how you know they're coaches and they're not actually hedge fund managers. And the reason you need hedge fund managers and not teachers is it's your money you're risking. You better have the best in the world teaching you, as I am on this free webinar. Got it? Okay. So as a private investor, 100% is realistic. So you might say, well, wait a minute, why would you have a hedge fund then? Well, because as a hedge fund manager, you can raise a lot more capital. So if I have 100 million euros, but we're averaging 20% per annum, that still makes me more money than me doing 100% alone on my own capital. You can do the maths, work it out, and you think, yeah, I see how you go, where you're going with this, Alpesh. That's why people like Bill Lipschitz would do PA, personal account trading, as well as being at a bank. Because you might say, why the hell would you work for a bank then if you're making so much money personally? Well, because the bank's going to pay you to manage a lot more money, so you're going to make whatever he might make, I don't know, 20 million a year from the bank, and maybe 2 million a year from his own trading, or 3 million, or 5 million, or 20 million from his own trade. Still worth it, isn't it? Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to you people, okay? The other little trick I'm going to teach you in this webinar is this, and it's incredibly important. Okay, in 2016, this is how we trade now on our own accounts. Get your signals off a laptop, but trade on a phone. See what that lady's doing there? At least I think it's a lady. See what that person's doing there? Get your signals off a laptop or a PC, but place your trades on a phone. Get your trading signals off a laptop, but use a good broker's free app to place the trades off the phone or tablet, because those apps are a lot simpler to use. That's modern trading. And I'll show you some of those apps, and I'll show you why, and I'll also show you which brokers not to use. Okay, yes, that and the two free ebooks means you're going to have to watch the webinar. Some of you say, now give me all the freebies, I want to go now. Doesn't work like that, my friends. Okay, let me tell you something else. How does good trading work? All right, again, don't worry if you can't read the text. I'm going to read it out. Rule number 1, keep a journal. Keep notes on why you entered a trade and what you did right, what you did wrong, and why you think you made money or you didn't. This will help you learn, and therefore your money goes further because it's paying for your education. All right. I'm also going to show you how to trade with brokers who only charge 7 pence a point or 7 pence a pip per move. So you're risking so little money. It's a bit like playing poker with matchsticks. You might on a trade only lose £10 if you're wrong, or $10, which is a good amount just to have enough pain to say, yeah, I learned something. Better than a demo account, but not so much money that you think, oh, bloody hell, if I have 5 of those losing trades, I'm screwed. Got it? Leave the screen. Leave the screen. Never trust anyone who says to you, you've got to use technical analysis or charting or fundamentals and watch Janet Yellen and read macroeconomic reports and all the rest of it. How can you leave the screen? You can place a trailing stop loss, which I'll show you. That is one of the key, easiest ways, okay, to be able to leave the screen. So it takes you out of the trade automatically. How do you do that? I'll teach you that in this webinar. Okay, I'll teach you all of that as well. Ian, great question. How do you make sure you got lots of currency pairs? I'll show you that. Not a problem. So it's a 2-second solution to your problem there, Ian, and I'll send you that solution on that. Okay, brilliant question, by the way, my friend. Now, stop losses. Okay, I'm going to come to this in more detail in this webinar, but let me tell you for now, most people do not know how to place a stop loss correctly. I want you to think of trading as a game. Trading is a competitive game. Somebody else is trying to take money off you. Sadly, that somebody else too often in the market nowadays is a broker. I'm going to show you how to find brokers who are more like estate agents, which you might think sounds like a bad thing, but it's not. Estate agents match buyers and sellers. They don't have a personal interest other than working for you. I know it might not feel like it sometimes, but they're matching buyers and sellers. Too often nowadays, brokers have become like casinos who are the house who are betting against you. Now, trading is a competitive game. The market is trying to get you out. Okay, it's trying to catch you out, trying to get you to make a loss. It does this through noise or volatility and moving things around. Sadly, too often, the person creating that bloody noise isn't the market, it's your broker. And I'm going to teach you how to avoid these landmines. Now, hedge funds used volatility-based stop losses, and I'll teach you what these are in this webinar, i.e., further away your stop losses if the market is more volatile. The further away the stop loss, then also the smaller the position size, so you don't lose more money with a further out stop loss. I'll explain that little tactic. That little tactic outsmarts the bloody brokers, and it outsmarts the market. I'm going to teach you how to be smart, okay, on that. Monitor rarely. Now you might think, what? Everybody else is telling us to sit in front of a screen. I'll tell you why. All those other so-called coaches don't have their interests aligned with yours. They're trying to charge you something each week, each month, each year. That's why they want you monitoring the market constantly with them on their trading schools or their institutes or whatever other bullshit name they've got for trying to coach you and charge you each week or each month or each year. Okay, their interests are not aligned with yours. When their interests are aligned with yours, they'll say to you, I want you to make money. Don't pay me anything. Go away and do it now. That's a proper mentor. Monitor rarely. The more you monitor, the more likely you will override your trades. You've placed a trailing stop loss, so let that do the exit for you. Don't fiddle. Don't mess. Don't second thought. Don't doubt. Relax. If you must monitor, add to your winning positions. I'll show you all of this in detail as we go through. Don't worry. That is the single most important thing you can do to profitability, which is adding to your winning positions if you have to monitor. All right. Great question, Sylvain. What's the best trading platform? I'll answer that. Some of your questions I'm going to answer at the end. Others I'll answer during the webinar. Okay. Don't place the trades on a PC. Like I said, I'll say it again. Place a trade on a phone or a tablet only. Okay, get your signals from a PC, Mac, or laptop, but place the trades on a phone or tablet. And I'll explain this in detail and why as we go through this webinar. What were my key moments of success? First thing, my mindset. Okay, whatever I thought, I've achieved. Why? The first thing about trading success, and I want to get this out right at the start of this webinar, is this. I decided when I was a private investor that I would be one of the best in the world. That's how the Financial Times picked me up and asked me to write a column, because when you're the best in the world, the FT comes knocking. I want to share that knowledge with you because I know even today I'm the best. You've got to believe it. You've got to believe you are going to become a trader. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay, doesn't mean just you say, oh, I'm going to be a trader. Tomorrow morning, you're a bloody trader. You've got to have that mindset because that mindset will get you through this 2-hour webinar, for instance. Otherwise, you'll just go off, you'll bugger off and you'll go and get a coffee or you go play with the kids or go look out the window or something else. Got to have that determination and mindset. The next thing, my key moment of success was getting the mentors. And I'm going to mentor you in this webinar. All right. I leveraged the experience of the most successful in the world. I sought out 10 of the world's leading traders, and they became my advisors and mentors and took me from being a private investor to being a hedge fund manager. I'll share their knowledge with you, okay? And I'll become your mentor in the next 2 hours of this webinar. Got it? The third key moment of success was studying from other hedge fund managers, learning from only the best money managers. I'll tell you who one of my mentors is. They weren't just hedge fund managers. They were outside of that as well. So 2 people who've invested in my, well, one key person who's invested in my hedge fund. I'll give you names of 2 actually. Tom Singh, the founder of New Look. Okay, Tom became a business mentor to me on how to set up the business, get more money into the hedge fund. Okay, he's the CEO of New Look. Another one is the CEO of Cobra Beer. Lord Karen Billamoria. And they're both friends and they're both investors in the fund when we set it up, and they both became mentors on the hedge fund side. Okay, so they helped on not just the trading side, but around it, on success more broadly, because making money trading is not just, okay, not just about, oh, you buy here, you sell there, here's volume analysis, here's Fibonacci, here's Elliott waves, here's what Janet Yellen's saying. Those people who tell you that, do they sound successful to you? They sound bored out of their bloody brains. They sound like full-time teachers. Do they sound like they've got the cockiness of a hedge fund manager whose mentors are Lord Billamoria and people like Tom Singh, billionaires? Do they sound like that? No. That's why I know it sounds cocky, but I'm on your side. All right. Learn from my years of expertise. Always learn from a money manager, a hedge fund manager. Everyone claims to be a coach, like I said, but you want to learn from the best, right? My story is I'm an Oxford University educated barrister, but I left that profession for 3 key things which shape everybody's lives, including yours. Funds, freedom, and fulfillment. I knew trading could give me those things. So with a small sum of money, I taught myself how to be a trader from books and mentors. I then, 10 years later, had enough money to, and I'll show you where I got the money from, to set up my own hedge fund, okay, in London, domiciled out of the Cayman Islands, and then domiciled out of Luxembourg. I'm like you. I'm just a private investor who, over that period of time, made it bigger and bigger and bigger. I got my fulfillment from teaching people all I learned in my journey, evangelizing about it on the BBC, on Bloomberg TV, and from my FT columns and my 18 books. From my columns in the Financial Times, where I shared my success, also from my TV shows on Bloomberg. Okay, those are the two most prestigious financial brands, and through them and my BBC appearances, I've reached over 300 million people. Why am I trying to get this across to you? It's because you need this level of passion and excitement about trading. It is not simply about, oh yeah, show me where to buy, show me where to sell, and watching a boring trading screen. That's why former athletes and former City people who got sacked from the City, they can't ever teach you to trade because they don't have that journey. They don't have that passion and commitment. They're trying to sell you something each week, each month, and so on. Got it? And I'm going to show you in a moment my trades right now. Okay, my exciting trades right now, very exciting actually, in the field of euro sterling that we've got right now. It's kicking off. I'm just monitoring as we speak, so don't worry, I will come back to it and show you that in a second. Just so you know, I have got live trades on while we're talking, and I'll share those with you. Okay, so what's your timeline going to be? Okay, before we get into the specifics of the trading strategy and the business plan and the live trades in this webinar, this is going to be your rough timeline. Month number one, I'm going to show you the business plan in this webinar. I want you to finesse it for yourself during that period. I want the business plan that I'm going to show you to be created for yourself. Months 1 and 2, you're going to launch your trading using the strategies I'm going to teach you and the tactics in this webinar. Okay, and getting the right broker and getting that broker account set up, and then start trading really slowly, looking at maybe 1 to 2 opportunities in a day. Before, in months 2 to 3, scaling up, monitoring more opportunities and scaling up each week, so you're doing more. Because like driving, it's a skill where you get more confident over time. And then month 3 onwards, fulfillment. Continue practicing like driving, and then increase the number of trades you do. I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to walk you through this bit by bit by bit. Okay, I'll be sharing my trading strategy and my tactics. Marv, no worries. Steve, I'm going to show you how to add to those winning positions using that trailing stop loss to do it. So I'm going to get very specific as we go through the webinar. This is just the overview. Most important of all, let me show you something incredibly important. The difference between beginners and experts, between losers and winners. Now, last year, Barclays Bank launched one of my books. Okay, and we did 10 years worth of research in that book from brokers of what winners did and what losers did. Now, it's really small on your screen. Don't worry, forgive me for that. You've all been emailed this infogram, I hope. Okay, but let me tell you, the biggest difference between winners and losers we found was this, that losers had big losing trades. That was it. It wasn't that winners won more often, or that winners only ever won. So anybody who ever tells you, oh, we win 90% of the time, they're lying, because George Soros only wins 50 to 60% of the time. So how come some Muppet can tell you he's always winning, he's always right? Anybody who focuses on how right they are is not a real trader. A real trader will focus on how much money they make. And I'm going to show you that in this webinar. All right, they'll talk figures. I'm happy to talk figures with you. I've told you, 100 million euro hedge fund, 15,000 pounds a month, or $25,000 a month rental charges we have, okay, in our offices. I'll talk bloody numbers with you. I don't have a problem with that, okay? Now, here we go. That's the key difference, is losers. And I'm going to show you how to make sure you don't have big losers, because think about the logic for a minute. If I removed your big losing trades, then surely you're going to be profitable, aren't you? Hell yes, you are. Of course you are. If I removed your big losing trades, you're going to turn around and say to me, oh, duh, Alpesh, yeah, of course I'm going to be profitable if you remove my big losing trades. Yeah, well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove your big losing trades to make you profitable. It's as simple as that. And you're going to see it and you're going to go, yeah, see what you did there, Alpesh. See how that made sense. Okay, so don't worry. I'm going to take you through all of that, my friends, and much, much more in this. So what are the biggest issues I'm going to cover? I'm going to give you the trading strategy that I use, as well as all these tactics. It's more about the tactics than the strategy, which is, how do you know a mentor's genuine? How do you know you can trust the broker? And I'm going to give you more free videos, more free ebooks, 2 free ebooks at the end of this webinar. And I'm going to show you how I trade. All right, so don't worry, you're going to get all of that as well. So let's get on with, let's show you me for a second. All right, show you me for a second before I go on to showing you the live trades. All right, so let's get on with it here. We're going to get on with it now. I'm just setting up the screens for you. Just give me 1 second. Come on, Alpesh. That's it. That's it. Good man. Good man. Set up the screens for you, good people. Here we go. Now, here we go. There we go. Right, I'm going to run through some of this quickly because some of it I've already covered, so we can get on with the trading strategy and the stuff that you all really want to know. All right, so here we go. What are we gonna cover in this? I want you to raise your standards. You are going to be making the sums that I've told you. 500 to 1,000 a month. If you can do 500 to 1,000 a month, then you can do 2,000, you can do 4,000. And let me tell you why I want you to be focused on that belief. For a very simple reason. We have found, and it's the same in my firm with the people we take on and we teach, we have found the most critical factor to their success is when they actually believe that they're going to succeed. All right, that is the most critical factor to their success. All right, so I need you to have that. Now let's run through some of these slides really quickly. I'm going to teach you money management and the trading system and trading psychology because you need all three to profit. Some people get it wrong. They don't realize it's all three of these. It's not just about when you buy and sell. It's about how you're going to be calm and stress-free so you don't sabotage yourself. The biggest problem in trading is not trading systems. They're to a penny. They're not a scarce resource. It is knowing how much money to place into a trade, where to put the stop loss, and how to keep calm and stress-free. Trading systems the easiest. That's what makes profitability. And let me tell you why some of these other teachers are so bloody bad, because they will focus on trying to get you to be right. The easiest way for you to be right is just to exit a whole load of trades at a very small gain. You won't make any money, but you'll get lots of right trades, and you won't close any of your big losing ones, and you'll end up like that. And you'll go, Alpesh, I lost all my money on the 10th trade. How many of you have ever followed these bad teachers, these bad coaches, and then had a really big losing trade? So you've been right 9 times out of 10, but your 10th trade is losing. That's what they teach you. Okay, it's a little con trick that they have. And the way they do it is they say, oh, you get small profit, just take the profit, take the profit, take the profit. And you go, see, you keep making profits, don't you? They tell you never to take your losses and you end up losing. Let me tell you something else. That's the difference between winners and losers that we found with trading. Okay, and I've already just gone through some of this. You don't have big losses as a winner, and I'll take you through it to make sure you don't have big losses. All right, there is everything else between winners and losers is exactly the same, other than winners never have big losses. So how do we make sure you don't have big losses? I'll explain it in this webinar. Don't worry about that slide. I've gone through it already, and this one I've gone through as well. All right, and that one I'm going to go through now. This bit is really important. I'll explain what this is. This is the performance of my mentor, Bill Lipschutz's hedge fund. All right, so I'm giving you the inside performance of an actual hedge fund. So on the y-axis, you have the number of months, like 10 months, 20 months, 40 months. Okay, on the x-axis, you have the percentage loss that they had on any given month. So the number of months the hedge fund lost between 0 to 1%, okay, of their assets, which if, let's say they had, for argument's sake, let's say they had only £100,000 and they lost 1% of that, which is £1,000, then that'd be 1 month. If they lost that in a month. Okay, so any month in which they lost 0 to 1% is here. So they had about 42 months where they lost 0 to 1% overall on their fund. The months in which they lost 1 to 2% was 40 months. The number of months in which they lost 2 to 3% was this, and so on. I want you to notice this. First of all, there were lots of losses. In other words, there were lots of months where they just lost money. Okay, whether it was 0 to 1% or 1 to 2%, they lost money overall in that month of their money. Got it? This is from an actual hedge fund. All right? This is an insight you never get because I'm an insider, so I can give you this. But those losses, there were some months where they lost 5 to 6% of their total assets. Now, I want you to notice something about that. Although they had lots of losing months, they were small. They only lost 0 to 1% or 1 to 2% in most months. Okay, that's the first thing I want you to notice. And this is taken over 10 years of data. This is 10 years of this hedge fund. Okay, and you won't be able to do better than a hedge fund. Okay, which is managing millions of pounds, hundreds of millions actually in his case. Actually, I think he's got over $1 billion. Okay, and I hope to aspire to get to him in the next 10 years of having $1 billion under management. Right? Now, what about the other side? These were the months where they had gains, 1 to 2%, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. You know what the critical factor is? Let me show you both charts together. Now, it's a lot of information to take in. Shall I tell you? Let me explain it to you simply. And it's going to be eye-opening, and it's an incredible secret you need to know. It's an incredible secret you need to know about all good quality fund managers in the entire world. This is what our performance, whether you're George Soros or anybody else, okay? The number of months where we make gains, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, small gains, it's a lot. There's a lot of months where we make small gains. There's a lot of months, however, when we make small losses. You know what makes us super rich? We have a few months where we have big wins, and we have no months where we have big losses. You know the secret to getting rich in trading and everything in life? A few big wins, okay, and no big losses. It is fine to have small wins and small losses. You're going to have them. You know why? And I'll tell you why. And only a real trader will ever tell you this. All those fake traders can't ever, all these coaches can't ever tell you this. You will never, ever in life or in trading only have big winning trades. You know how I know that? Because there aren't just big moves all the time in the bloody market, are there? Okay, if you look at the market today, just look at it. Sometimes it'll go up a little, down a little. So you'll have small wins and small losses. But occasionally you'll have big wins. I'm going to teach you how to get big wins, and I'm going to teach you how not to have big losses. You know the problem with most coaches, well, actually all of the coaches, and I've looked at every single coach that there is in this market, okay, who advertises and markets on Facebook and on Google and all the rest of it. You know what they end up teaching you? They'll end up teaching you tactics which give you big losing months, okay, but only a few big losing months, which will still wipe you out, and never big winning months. All right, this is what it looks like, and I'm going to show you how to get big wins and no big losses. That is the secret to trading success. The first thing I'm going to do is remove your big losses, which will instantly make most of you profitable, and then I'm going to show you how to get some big wins, which will make the rest of you profitable. Yes, you're going to have small losses and you're going to have small wins because that's what the market does. The reality is, you know, I'm telling the truth because I'm showing you the performance of a real hedge fund manager, plus, which is the best in the world. Plus, I'm telling you, you're going to have small losses and small wins, which you always knew was going to be the case. Now, let me tell you one of the most important secrets of hedge funds and the best tactics and that I use in my own trading strategy is this. It's called, I want you to write this down. It's this. Let's say, see this green arrow? Let's say that's a buy signal, okay? That green arrow tells you when to buy. So you've got a buy signal. Where do you put the stop loss? Two secrets, tactics of all the best traders in the world. Volatility-based stop loss, volatility-based position sizing. Secret number one, volatility-based stop loss. Secret number two, volatility-based position sizing. What is that? Sounds complicated. It is not. It is one of the secrets to getting rich, not just in this, but actually in life generally. What does that mean? It means when the market's more volatile, you stay out of its way by putting a stop loss further away. That's volatility-based stop loss. And when you do that and your stop loss is further away, you reduce your position size so that you don't have a bigger loss if your stop loss gets hit. Now, let me explain that. It's a lot of stuff I've just covered, and now it's complicated. What I'm saying is when the market is noisy or more volatile, how do you measure volatility? There's lots of ways of doing it. You can do it by experience. You can do it by looking at a recent support or resistance level. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can use something called the average true range, ATR. ATR, look it up on the internet. It's something you can find for free, so I'm not going to teach you it because you can find it elsewhere for free. Why should I waste your time on this webinar teaching it? Don't worry about it. The more volatile the market, the more noisy. You obviously don't want to be stopped out by noise because noise doesn't mean that your strategy isn't working. Noise is just volatility. So you make sure your stop loss is further away, maybe 2 times the average volatility of the market or 3 times. And if it's a further out stop loss, well, you obviously don't want to incur a bigger loss. So you reduce your position size, obviously. So instead of betting £1 a point, you might do 50 pence a point. And I'll show you the brokers which allow you to do small position sizing. Okay. So stop loss further away, smaller position size. And you did that because the market was more volatile. It's one of the most important tactics. Okay. One of the most important tactics, and I will go through this in more detail. You know why this is so important for all hedge funds? Because it means the market decides our stop loss, not some kind of fixed perspective. It means we don't accidentally get stopped out of market noise. It means that good trades don't get stopped out. How many of you have had good trades which got stopped out and you thought, oh no, I wish I'd stayed in? And then next time you ignore your stop loss, and guess what? It gets bigger and bigger, and you think, oh damn, why did I ignore my stop loss? You see, it avoids stress. Every single part of the tactics I'm going to teach you has an element of psychology about it, embedded within it. Because my job is not just to tell you what to do, it's to make sure I give you the psychological tools that you're able to do it. I'm all about practitionering. I'm not trying to make you stay with me for a week, a month, or the rest of your life and keep paying me fees each bloody week and month. And yeah, that's why. Got it? So let's go on to a few more things, which I'm going to run through quickly on the trading tactics. I'm going to show you where we buy and sell. Before I do, and I'll show you the live trades. Before I do, let me tell you what really pisses me off, okay, and what is really annoying me. I've done this before. I'm going to tell you again. Don't go for Cyprus-regulated brokers ever. Don't ever do that. Watch out for blood-sucking vampires of brokers. Let me tell you the top tricks. Don't read what's on screen. I'm going to talk you through it quickly. Brokers at the moment, most of them, what they will do, and I'll tell you which brokers I trust in 1 second, okay? Most brokers will move the price against you. They will give you bad analysis, because if you lose, they win, because they're betting against you. They're allowed to take the other side of the bet. The kind of brokers you want, I'm going to email you the names of 3 brokers that I trust in this webinar. I'm going to email those to you. All right? I trust those. Why? Because I use them myself. I've met the CEOs. They're UK or US regulated. All right? And also because when a broker is either NDD, i.e. non-dealing desk, or blind agency, it means they're matching buyers and sellers and they can't see what your order flow is. Okay? When they're not, it means they can bet against you. All right? And if they can bet against you, then what they'll do is they'll widen the spreads, they'll manipulate the price quotes, the relationship managers will keep calling you up, or they'll give you bad market analysis, or they'll increase the margins against you. And all of those things are designed to make sure you take a loss. Put your hands up if that's happened to you. Put your hands up if that's happened to you. And what one of these 5 things happened to you, that's how you know your broker is a shyster. Got it? Don't trust the bloody brokers. All right? Don't trust binary trading, because it's meant to be like casino. Don't trust full-time teachers. The only one you should trust are hedge fund managers. All right. No, Michael, Greg Secker is not a hedge fund manager. It's the biggest joke I've ever heard. Neither is Darren Winters, Michelle, as well. It's a big joke. Don't trust bad education. People who are trying to make you watch screens all day. The reason fundamental analysis, or just looking at analysis about which way interest rates are going to go, is bad is because it's the same as gambling. It's like saying which horse is going to win the race. Oh, I think unemployment figures are going to come out higher or lower. Well, I'm going to teach you a trading strategy which me and lots of hedge funds use in order to avoid that kind of gambling. And we also don't just sit there looking at charts. Anybody who teaches you how to read charts and supports and resistances and all the rest of it, they're little con artists, because that's not how we trade anymore, because we use modern technology to avoid it. Let me show you how we trade, okay? Let me show you how we trade, all right, nowadays. Now, I'm going to show you a screen. This is not how you're going to start on day one. You're going to build up to it. Just like when you started to trade, when you started to drive, you had your indicators, you had your rear view mirrors, you had your side mirrors, your wing mirrors, your rear view, your clutch, your brake, your accelerator, your gear shift. And then gradually cars got simpler. They had power steering, all right? They had automatic, so there was no clutch. Got it? Now they're getting so simple. They're self-drive, if you ask Elon Musk. My point is, everything evolves through technology to get more automated and simpler. So I'm going to show you how we go from complexity to simplicity. Okay, so let's kick off first and foremost. Right, this looks complicated. This is a free piece of software. This drove one guy mental last time because he said, "Where's it? I want it for free." I said, "Yeah, it's free." He goes, "It's not free. You didn't tell. It's not free. It's not free." He refused to believe me. So trust me, I'm going to show you how to get it for free. He goes, "You got to pay for it." I said, "No, you don't. Calm down." His name was Adwin. Or Neil or something, went mental, went berserk. He said, "I'm going to call the BBC. It's not free." He started crying. Anyway, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how it is free. The reason I teach people on this piece of software, okay, it's called MT4, if some of you don't know, but I'll show you how to get it. All these quotes are live and real time, and they're free, because first things first, I want you not to pay for your data. If you're paying for your data, you're being ripped off. That's the first thing. The second thing is I don't want you to pay for analytics. If you're doing this kind of analytics, I don't suggest you do it, but in case you are, right, like the MACD, I just dragged and dropped it onto the screen there, okay, or whatever else that I want. I dragged and dropped it onto the screen there. I don't want you paying for it. Here, it's free. All right, here, it's free, and I don't want you having to pay for it. All right, so let me tell you why we look at this. First of all, I want your data to be free. So you're not paying anything each week, each month. And I described this on the FT. Where can you download this software for free? I'm going to send you that email of the 3 brokers that I like at the end of the webinar. For those who are on this webinar to the end are going to get an email. In that email, it's going to give you, because I think that's fair. If you do me the courtesy of being on the webinar, I'll do you the courtesy of telling you where to get all the free stuff. Okay? You're going to get the links to 3 brokers. The third broker, and here's a cheat. Don't tell the broker I told you this. You can open an account, but you don't have to fund it. You open the account, but you don't fund it. It's not a demo account. It's a live account, but don't fund it. It'll say, oh, what are you going to fund it with? Just say you're going to fund it, but you don't have to, and you'll get to download this for free. Got it? And you're going to think, Alpesh, you little sneaky cheat. Yeah, well, don't you want me to be a sneaky cheat if I'm on your side? And you get this data for free for life. Got it? Okay, and you can open demo accounts as well. This is the live one. By the way, I'm using the spread betting version. You don't have to use spread betting. Right, let me tell you what trades and how we maximize our trades. Remember, I said I only want you to look at trades for 15 minutes a day before and after work. How can I manage that? These are the secrets. These are the secrets of how you only look at a screen for 15 minutes a day. First things first, we're going to set you up like this. Okay, right? I'm going to email you how to do that. And it's free. I keep saying it, and I'm going to repeat it again. You're going to get an email. It's the link to the third broker, and it's free. You don't have to buy anything or pay for anything. You don't have to fund any accounts. There are no strings attached. I say that because Adwin had a heart attack and had to go to hospital when he thought wrongly that it wasn't, right? That's the first thing. Now, the next thing is this. Eventually, not on day one, eventually you're going to have, I want you to have 8 screens set up. Why 8? 8 of these little windows. For this reason, to maximize profitability in anything in life, you need to maximize opportunities. How do you maximize opportunities? You look at different opportunities, not just 1 or 2. Sometimes people say, oh, do I look at oil? Do I look at gold? Why do you care where you're making your money as long as you're making it? Okay, so I look at currencies because the currency markets are open 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. After this webinar, you could do this and the market's still open. The bloody equity markets, they'll be closed. They'll be closed. The equity markets are closed. The stock markets are closed more times than they're open. All right. The Forex markets are open 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. They're a $3 trillion a day market. The equity markets in the world are only worth a few billion. Really rich people don't trade equities. They trade foreign exchange. That's why trillions are traded in foreign exchange. Foreign exchange isn't more risky. The way I do it, I'm going to show you how to do it without leverage or margin, so you're not taking additional risk at all. Okay, so don't worry about that either. Now, why have I got 8 windows? So I can look at euro sterling, euro dollar, dollar Canadian dollar, FTSE 100, sterling, Swiss franc, and whatever. So I want you to look at and write this down: multiple securities, multiple time frames. So I can go long and short. Now, when I look at these over a 15-minute period, I might only place 1 trade, which will be my favorite trade. Now look at this. This is euro dollar 1 hour. It's been great for us today. Okay, it's been absolutely bloody great. And I'm going to teach you some really important secrets of hedge funds. Please monitor this really carefully, what I'm going to teach you. Okay, first things first. This green arrow, just so you know we're all on the same page, means to buy. How did that come about? I'll teach you how my strategy produced that. That red cross means to exit the position. So we got in and we exited. Okay, now you might say, well, wait a minute. How come it then dropped here and you were at a loss? Okay, one of 2 things would happen. If we had that loss, 1 of 2 things. Either it'll hit our stop loss, so we'll get out, and then we'll re-enter the trade once it goes past entry. Notice what I just said. Re-enter. Why? Well, remember that other problem most private investors have? They either have a stop loss which gets hit and then the price goes in their direction after all. And so they say, damn, next time I'm never taking a stop loss. So next time the market drops and they make a big loss. How do we avoid that problem? You take your small loss and then you re-enter later. So you know that you can always have a stop loss because you know you'll always re-enter and you'll never lose. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is this. Why do I use this kind of automation and not a MACD? Which I'm monitoring constantly, because I want return on my time invested. Okay, I don't want to be just screen watching technical indicators and all the rest of it. Tell you secret number 3 of hedge funds. We don't use lagging indicators. Notice this. Look at this. Notice how the market was going sideways. We got an indicator, and then it shot up. And this is a live trade right now. Euro dollar, we're long. Some of you may want to trade this during the webinar. It's at 1.1153 at the moment. I think it's going to continue going up. What does stock, MACD do? I'll explain all of that. So I'm going to give you a lot of secrets of hedge funds by looking at this window, and you can replicate all of this. There's nothing complicated about this. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm currently live and long this trade. I'll show you the other trades. Why did I look at this? Because right now, while I'm giving a webinar, I can say to you, right, this is my opportunity. I might ignore all the others, quality over quantity. As a result, then I go away. I place a trailing stop loss, remember? Okay, trailing stop loss, so that as this goes more into profit, the trailing stop loss moves up. Okay, and when the trailing stop loss hits break even, I open another position. I add to it. So if I was trading at £1 a point, when the trailing stop loss hits break even, I add another position. Let me go through that again, because that's a lot of information I've given you. Don't worry, people. I'm going to keep repeating myself until you all get it. Let's talk about those trailing stop losses for a minute. Okay, your broker's app on your iPhone will allow you to place a trailing stop loss when you got the entry. Okay, does that mean you've got to keep watching the screen until you get these entries? No, because you've got 8 windows open. One of them, like this, might show an entry and you get into it. Okay, if it doesn't, if it's too late and you missed it, that's fine. You've got multiple opportunities across multiple screens. You might have missed this one, which is US dollar, Canadian dollar, 4-hour bars. Notice how we got the buy signal over there. We got that just around the time of my birthday on the 16th of July. We got that, okay, and we went up, and we got a sell signal just 2 days ago on my anniversary on the 27th of July. Yeah, and it made me a nice little bit of money. What a lovely anniversary present. What a lovely birthday present. But let me explain. We weren't watching that constantly. I'll tell you why. You've got 8 windows. You're going to do 25 trades in a month, 1 a day, the best quality one out of these 8. If you've got only 1 opportunity in a day, that's fine. Got it? Most opportunities, the more opportunities you have in life, the more likely you're going to be successful. You don't ever, therefore, monitor 1 or 2 things. Otherwise, how are you ever going to get the opportunity to be rich? How are you ever get it? You're not. Got it? Okay. So that's one thing I wanted you to know. The other thing I really need you to know is this. Any good trading strategy, mine included, which I'm going to show you in this webinar, okay, so you can copy it, always has certain characteristics. One is it gives you a window of opportunity. It's a window of opportunity, okay, there in which to enter. So you don't have to be watching the screen. You don't have to see where the signal came up. Came up at about 2 in the bloody morning. Do you think on my anniversary I was up at 2 in the morning, or my staff were? No, they weren't. They certainly weren't up because I wasn't in the office. All right. But notice how it gives you a whole window of opportunity, 11 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, in which to enter it. Got it? So another secret is good strategies give you a window of opportunity in which to enter. Good strategies also, therefore, because they've got a window of opportunity to enter, most people will enter at different times depending on what time zone they're in. I've got Canadian people watching this, Mexicans watching this, Australians watching this, as well as Brits watching this. They might trade different signals, different time frames. Okay, that's why backtesting is bullshit. Backtesting is bullshit for 2 reasons. One, the financial regulators in the US and the UK will put you in prison if you market anything based on backtesting. So anybody who ever talks to you about backtesting is a liar, a cheat, and a fraud. The second reason backtesting is bullshit is because it'll tell you, oh, I got into that trade at 3 in the morning. No, you didn't. It'll give you false results that you did trades at 3 in the morning. Of course you didn't. Okay, so you want to know real, actual results, which I'll show you in a second on this webinar. Okay, so you're going to see those. Right? Let me let you into more secrets of hedge fund managers. All right? All right? Because this screen depicts it. Multiple opportunities, not on day 1, over a period of time. Guess why we like currency markets? I just told you. Why we like free real-time data? I just told you. Okay, let me tell you something else. Let me let you into some more secrets. Okay? Hedge fund managers have a rule, 2 secret rules. One is winners add to winners. When we get a winning position like this, it's going higher and higher while we're on air. Okay, we add to that winning position. Why do winners add to winners? Because we're going to start our initial position at a very small size, just in case it's a losing trade. Think of the logic in what I'm telling you. And if it's a losing trade, guess what? If it's a losing trade, we want it to be a small loss. So we start with a small size. But then we add up to those winning positions. When do we add to a winning position? When our trailing stop loss comes to break even. Well, wait a minute, Alpesh, you said you're not going to be sitting by the screen. Yeah, remember I said if that trailing stop loss is 40 points away, for argument's sake, then you know it's going to hit break even when the profits are up 40 points. So you know to say, oh, I'll put an entry order in when you're a bit more sophisticated in advance, that my original position price plus 40 pips is my next position with another trailing stop loss. So winners add to winners, losers add to losers. Now that's a lot of information I've just given you. Okay, I'll come through that. Okay, I'll come through that. Now you can do the My Strategy manually, which I'll show you, or you can do it automated on this. I'll come to that, Marv, in a second. Don't worry, I'll show you how to do all of that. If you want this platform for free, okay, this MT4 platform, like I told you, it's going to be emailed to you. On the email, it's the third broker. Open the account there. Don't fund the account, so it never costs you anything. You won't have any weekly costs, monthly costs, whatever. Okay, fund the account. You can download the software. How do you download? What's my strategy? I'll give you the manual rules in a second. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so why did I want to simplify it like that? Well, winners add to winners, so I don't have any stress. I can do a webinar. I can do a webinar whilst watching the markets, and I can watch it for 15 minutes, scan the markets because it's constantly scanning all of these things. And which currencies do I like to watch? Which time frames? I'm going to prove to you in this webinar why the 1 hour time frame is the best, even if you've got a day job. Okay, because you're only going to scan this for 15 minutes, place your trades on the iPad, and then walk away. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is the currencies I like the best. I really like Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, or New Zealand dollar, anything with those in, because I find those trends are the smoothest. I really like those. Okay, and I'll come back to more live trades as we go on. I'll let you into another secret. Losers add to losers. Losers add to losers is another secret. Oh, by the way, let me just show you another quick trade. Which one did we have on? Because my assistants just told me. Sterling against the Swiss franc. These are 5-minute bars. Why am I doing 5-minute bars if I just told you I love the 1 hour bars? The reason I'm doing 5-minute bars is because it's more dramatic on a webinar. So we had a short trade here. Okay, we had a short earlier this morning, which we exited at a profit. Okay, and then we just got a long position. Now, how many of you psychologically can go from short to long? It's very easy if you've got an indicator just telling you to do that with the rules. And I'll explain what these arrows are. So we're going to keep an eye on sterling, Swiss franc. It's always more dramatic on a 5-minute bar. And I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, you're cherry picking," because look, that's at a slight loss right now. So it's a slight loss. Oh, so I'm showing you a loss. What? I'll be showing losing. Yeah, don't worry. We'll come back to it. And I'm pretty confident it'll turn up being a profit. So I'm not too worried either. Speaking actually of 5-minute bars, okay, one more, because I haven't shown you the. Yeah, I told you I love this morning on this a buy indicator, which we had to get out at a small loss, and then we re-entered as it started rallying ahead. That's fine. We don't mind re-entering. Then we exited. Let's just go back there again. Okay. Now I'm going to show you in this chart essentials of trading secrets again. Okay, we had a small loss, stop loss. We got stopped out of. Okay, and we re-entered, and then we had a profit, small profit. That's fine. Then we got this big profit. Now we're adding to that winning position as I speak. Australian dollar, US dollar. That's long, and we're doing well. Okay, because that's up. Right. So we had a small profit here, and then a bigger profit here. That's fine. That's great. Come on, let me just share the screen. Did we just lose the screen? Let's just share the screen. Let's just share the screen. Present to everyone. Yeah, I think we're there. I think we're all right. I think it might have gone off. It's back on. All right. So some more secrets of good strategy. I'm going to show you my strategy. Any losses are small in size, short in duration. You've got a window in which to re-enter. You can add to winners. Winners add to winners because you've got a trailing stop loss, which when it breaks even, you can add a new position. How do you know when it's going to break even? Well, remember when you placed the bloody stop loss. You knew when you placed the stop loss, it's 40 pips away or whatever meant points away. Therefore, you know your next entry point will be 40 points up. And if it never gets to that, well, it'll never get executed, that new order. Okay, so we'll come back to some of those and some of the questions you've got. Any questions you've got, just put them in. I'll come back to it to the end of the webinar. I just want to capture some more time. Okay, I want to capture some more slides because there's quite a few more slides to do. The secret of trading success, yeah, that is me, is not just pictures of some muppet, that's me, on a desert island saying, hey, pay me each week, each month, and I'll teach you how to get onto your own island. It's to shorten the time it takes you to learn by using the experience of someone else, because all trading is an inside game. Inside game means this: you're either on the right side of the rope line or you're on the outside looking in. My job is to make sure you're with me and the Duke and Duchess. I had to use an excuse to use the Duke and Duchess. All right, I'm not going to go through this little trading business plan because I'm going to give you another one in a second. All right, and I don't need to go through that either because I've already told you which currencies I like as well and which time frames. What I'm going to tell you is all trading is about cutting the amount of time you sit in front of the screen. That's why I keep telling you it's about being in front of that screen for a short space of time, not only to increase your return on time invested, but also to make sure you don't trade out of bloody boredom, because that's going to be the worst trade you ever do. Got it? For that reason. So I've got to make sure you never do that mistake. We've just had an exit on one of our trades. I'll come back to it anyway. It was a small profit, so we'll come back to it. Let me tell you the things which are going to remove the obstacles to trading. 8 things are going to remove trading obstacles. Again, get your pens and papers, sharpen them right now. There are 8 things which are going to remove every obstacle to trading. And those 8 things are going to be these. I'm going to go through them in this webinar right now. Number 1, strategy that works. I'm going to give you my strategy, okay, which tells you when the market's going to move. Might seem obvious, a strategy that works. Actually, that's actually the least important because it's about the tactics around it, but I'll give you the strategy. It also has to be clear and simple because trading is stressful enough. That's why I've automated, I'll give you my manual rules, but I automated my manual rules so I get an arrow which then tells me. That removes stress. It means I can be in front of the screen for only 15 minutes. I don't have to manually look at things, but I'll show you how to do it manually, okay? All right? As well, secret number 3. Remember that stop loss strategy I told you, volatility-based stop loss to prevent big losses. Volatility-based stop loss so that your losses are short in duration, small in size through your strategy, and you add to winners. Losers add to losers. Never add to a losing position is another secret of all good hedge funds. Never add. We've got a great guns going here, so I've got to show you Australian dollar, US dollar. It's going great guns for us at the moment, that trade I showed you earlier. So let's see how it does as we progress. We're long on Australian dollar, US dollar as we're speaking, okay? And I'll explain why we're long on it, okay? How did I pick these currencies? I mean, you might say to me, Alpesh, surely if you're long on Australian dollar, US dollar, and long on euro dollar, then you're just doing a dollar trade across 2 different currencies. Yes, but would I rather not diversify my money, split it between two trades, albeit both largely dollar trades, than just do $1 trade? Do you see what I mean? It's still diversification. Ideally, I only want $1 trade, one Canadian dollar trade, one euro trade. They all want to be different. Okay. Yes, Michael, I'll show you how to get that up as well on this webinar, how to get the automation part of it. Okay. But can you see why? The other thing I want you to do, when I kept saying on an iPad or on a screen, is I need you to be trade easily. And that means downloading an app so your trading looks like this. This is an app off my phone. All brokers have it. I don't care which broker you trade with. I'll give you the names of 3 that I use and like, but you pick any broker you want as long as you don't think they're trading against you and they're not the casino and they're not trying to increase the margins and all the rest of it. And I hear bad things about a lot of brokers. At the end of this webinar, you'll name me the names of brokers and of coaches which you've used and been ripped off by, and I'll share those names with everybody on the webinar. Got it? Can trade anywhere, anytime is what I want. So you've got an app you press the sell or the buy, and that's how simple it should be. Because I tell you why. Complexity is the enemy of execution. If things are complicated, you won't do them. I want you to be making money. The only way you're all going to be making money is not just if I tell you the strategy, but if it's simple to execute. Because it's so simple, you get the rules and you see it and you can do it. I mean, simple enough that, yeah, okay, I monitored it. I monitored the 8 trades. I picked the one which was closest to being the highest quality, like that one, and then I got out of it, and that's that. Here we go. Okay, that's what I mean by simplicity. That's what we need. And then I've got to give you the clear roadmap to it. So in the rest of the webinar, in the next 40 minutes, I need your time for 2 things. Okay, now one is to show you the strategy and how you can have your screen looking like mine. And the second thing is the business plan. All right, so you get a roadmap to rich, so it works for you whether you've got a day job or you're a day trader. All right, so let me show you what I've got to show you first. The business plan, then the trading strategy. The business plan, because how much money you can make is incredibly important. If you don't have a goal of how much money you might be able to make doing all of this, how the hell are you ever going to do it? Okay, how are you ever going to do it? So let's go to the business plan, then the trading strategy. Remember, all this software, the real-time data and all of this and my manual strategy, I'll give you for free. It's on the email you're going to get. The indicator, I'll show you how to download it. Okay? But this, all of this, like, I remember Adwin at the end of the last one just went nuts when he thought he wasn't getting something for free. You are getting it for free at the end of the webinar. I'll show you how. And by free, I don't mean any conditions to pay. I don't mean you pay for it, okay? How to get this real-time data and this MT4 so it looks like this. The bit that I've done, which is automated, is my own indicator. That bit isn't free, but you don't need that. I'm going to give you everything else for free, all right? I'm going to show you. But I'll show you how to get my indicator if you really want it, as well. All right, let's take you to the business plan, then the strategy that you can copy, okay, with the manual rules for free. I'll give you my manual rules for free, which will come in this webinar in a second. Now, this is the business plan I did when I was at Oxford University. This is the business plan, okay, as well, that I did when I was at Oxford University, which then made me realize I need to do this full time. Okay, the road to rich. I decided the maximum loss per trade that I should have is this, 1% of my total capital. Eventually, when I'm proficient, anybody who tells you 1% is an idiot. I'll tell you why. Hedge funds have 1%. When you're a beginner, it shouldn't be 1%. It should be a lot less. But this was a business plan to where I wanted to get to. That's why I used the figure 1%. Imagine my total capital when I get to where I wanted to get to as a student was £20,000. I didn't have £20,000 as a student. It's where I wanted to get to. Okay, so my max loss per trade must be £200. My win-loss ratio, I worked when I'm proficient, would be 70 correct trades out of 100. So it was win-loss. I'd win 70% of the time, lose 30% when I'm proficient. So my average loss was £200. My average win, therefore, was 300. Why was my average win 300? Because if I've got a strategy, then I want it to make more when I win than when I lose. Okay? More when I win than when I lose. Okay? How did I do that? Well, winners add to winners, remember, losers add to losers. So our average loss was 200. But we made sure we had a strategy which gave us more when we won because we added to winners, right? Let's say we did 100 trades. When I'm writing this business plan, and I want you to write your own one, 70 of those trades on this business plan would therefore be profitable because I'm trying to work out what should I do with the rest of my life. Should I even be trading? Should I be working part-time and trading, or should I be only be trading? Should I be trying to do something else completely? This is the reason why I want you all to go through this as well yourselves, okay? Okay, as well. And this is what I found. If those 70 trades were making £300 profit, well, that was £21,000 profit. Wow, isn't that great? Don't we all want to be achieving that? But 30 would be making £200 in losses. That's losses of £6,000. So my net gain was £15,000 per 100 trades. Wow, that is amazing. That got me excited. But wait a minute. I need a strategy then to give me those 100 trades. Where am I going to find that strategy? So I'll show you in this next step, the strategy. But I went through the maths of it and I thought, wait a minute, if I do 100 trades per week, yeah, I know, I was going a bit nuts. Then 50 weeks in a year, that would mean £15,000 per 100 trades, 5,000 trades per annum on that math would mean £750,000 a year. And all of you are now thinking, what are you smoking, Alpesh? We're not going to do £750,000 a year. Are you nuts? I agree with you. You're going to say to me, we're not going to do 90% of that, 3/4 of that, 2/3 of that, even a half of that, or a fifth of that, or 15% of that. We might only do 10% of that. Well, wait a minute. 10% of that on this business plan is still £75,000 a year. So as I'm working this out, I'm thinking to myself as a student, any good business plan, you should be able to do even better than you planned, even if you only do 10% of your eventual goal. So I thought, wait a minute, 10% of that is £75,000, which is way more than the 1,000 a month I was targeting. So then I thought, let's be even more pessimistic and see if we're still getting rich. So then I said, let's say I only do 100 trades in 6 months, 100 trades per 6 months. That would be 200 trades per annum. So that's 30,000 trades per annum, £30,000 per annum. Remember, 100 trades per 6 months. So it's less than the 1 a day. It's actually less than the 25 a month I wanted. I'm doing 200 trades per annum, therefore, at £30,000 per annum. Remember, because it's £15,000 per 100 trades. I thought, that's manageable. But wait a minute, £30,000 per annum is still almost 3 times more than the 1,000 a month I said most people have as their ambition and goal. 1,000 a month is the goal for most of you on this webinar, because if you can make 1,000, you can make 2. If you can do 2, you can do 4. The reason is 1,000 a month is the difference between rich and poor. It's the difference between paying off your credit cards and not paying them off. It's the difference between topping up your pension and not topping it up. So 1,000 a month is still way below this, which is about 4% of our business target. And I thought, wait a minute, I've got a business plan here which still makes me rich even if I hit really, really pessimistic targets. I first tried to do 10% of it, then I more than halved the 10%. So I got to under 4%, and I was still knocking the ball out of the park because my aim was actually just 1%, was 1,000 a month. So that's when I knew trade full time, because on a pessimistic business plan, I'm still doing incredibly well. That's the secret success. Then I thought to myself, wait a minute, why isn't everybody rich then? How come everybody hasn't discovered this? Why isn't everybody rich? And I worked out 3 things. Reason number 1 was bad teachers. Reason number 2 was bad mentors. And reason number 3 was bad strategies. That leads me conveniently on to teaching you the strategy, which I've been showing you on the screen. So how do we automate that strategy? How do we automate this strategy? And let's make sure that strategy works. Let's go into, what was I showing you? Australian dollar, US dollar 5-minute bars. Got that buy signal during the webinar, remember. The time down here is Greenwich Mean Time. So British summertime is 1 hour after that. It's currently 2:16 British summertime. Okay, so we're here, 0.7577 Australian dollar, US dollar. It should actually be the other way around, US dollar, Australian dollar. I don't care which way down around it is. Still money, isn't it? So we went long, okay, and we're still going long on that, okay? We're in that. We've added to that. Just 1 second. Webinar people, just give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to check with my assistant. She has added to that. She always gives me a really rude look when I ask her that, because it's like, the look she gives me is, do I look stupid, Alpesh? Kind of look. She's added to that winning position. Why? Because our trailing stop loss came to break even. So when we added a new position, we didn't take any extra risk, because our first position, the worst it could do is go to break even. So we didn't take any additional risk. We played with our profits. Winners add to winners. Okay, we don't just take that profit, which is what most of you would do. You take that small profit, have a win. We let winners run. We never add to our losing position, so we never have big losses. We also don't have big losses because we always start with a small position, because we know we can always add to winners for that reason. Okay, Kamal, that's my indicator. I'll show you how to download it at the end of this webinar. Okay, as well, so don't worry. Okay, I'll show you how we did it. Now, I'm not going to go through all of some of these slides. I'm going to show you my strategy instead. Let me show you the manual strategy, which is what I'm going to tell you, the manual strategy freely on this free webinar, which is what is then being shown here through these indicators and through these lines. So let me go through that now and showing you how we're doing it. All right. What I discovered when I did that business plan at Oxford is I needed a strategy which gave me those signals. Enough signals to get to that money and make that money each month and be able to monitor the market for a short period of time. Okay, because remember, I was going to have a day job initially. It was to be a barrister. Okay, so I realized that I needed to know how to measure momentum. What's momentum? I needed to be able to measure when the market's about to go up. How do I know before time the market's going to go up? Or this 1 hour trade, that one's clear as well. You know, it's going sideways. What is the market doing here that suddenly it's about to rise up? So it wasn't a lagging indicator telling me too late, but it was an early enough indicator. Okay, telling me ahead of time. And what I've discovered, and remember, I was a poor student, so I wanted everything to be free. So I got this free software, right? Free real-time data, which I've told you and I've emailed you. By the end of this webinar, for those who are on the webinar at the end, you'll get an email on the software. And I'll reiterate again, this live real-time data. And it had things like this MACD. So I knew I could do it all for free. Okay. Okay. See, I just showed you that. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, what are the rules then? And I discovered something which, thanks to Bill Lipshotz's Global Head of Foreign Exchange at Salomon Brothers, taught me. So it's not my original thing. He taught me. He said, always use these indicators in a way that aren't used in the textbooks. If they're used in the textbooks, they'll never work. And what I discovered is this. To find momentum that the price is about to move, look for this. Look for when the price closes near its high. That's what he taught me. And I said, Bill, am I going to do that manually? Bloody hell, I'll be a screen slave. He said, no, there's indicators which will do that for you. Indicators like the MACD, which are freely available. So I said to him, what the hell's the MACD? He said, moving average convergence divergence. He said, don't worry about that. I said, well, what do I look for? And he said, look, there's a couple of things. And I amended what he did. So this is my version of what he told me. Okay, which is this. I look for the indicator to be flat to rising. That tells me the price is going to rise. Now, he said to me, there's 3 characteristics of all successful strategies, which is this. One, well, actually, the overarching thing is they always have the odds in their favor. This is true of rich people anywhere in the bloody world. Those buggers always have the odds in their favor. How do they put the odds in their favor before they risk any money? How do they put the odds in their favor? What he said in trading that translates into is this. They look at multiple indicators. What does that mean? They'll look at multiple indicators such as the MACD and other indicators to make sure, okay, that multiple indicators are telling them that the price is about to rise. They also look at not just multiple indicators, they look at multiple time frames. And I said, what the hell does multiple time frames mean? And he said, see this? He goes, you got multiple indicators, stochastic, MACD, MACD. This is the UK 100, FTSE 100 1 hour charts. We're short this, by the way, and we've been short this since yesterday. Okay, and we've been making money on it, and we're still short. He said, you look at multiple indicators like stochastic, MACD. Is it flat to rising or flat to falling if you're going short? And multiple time frames. So you don't just look at the 1 hour bars, you look at the next time frame across, the 4 hour as well. Why? I said to him. He said, well, for this reason. Multiple indicators, because that will reduce the odds of being wrong, because if multiple indicators are telling you something's going to rise or fall. And he said, then you look at multiple time frames. So the MACD2 is just the MACD on the next time frame across, okay? Because he said if money is pushing long or short in this time frame and the next time frame, you're more likely to get more momentum, less likely to have a bad trade. The odds are more in your favor. And he said it's the same in anything in life, whether you're investing in property or any other deal. Always put your money where the odds are in your favor. You make sure they're in your favor by looking at multiple indicators, whatever those indicators are, in my case, stochastic and MACD, and multiple timeframes. But he said there's a third secret to success, not just multiple indicators and multiple timeframes. The third secret to success, he said, is wait for the price to move in your favor. That will increase the odds that you've got into a good trade. 3 things of all good strategies to getting rich: multiple indicators, in my case, the MACD and the stochastic, flat to rising, multiple time frames. So look at not just that time frame, but the next time frame across. That's what the MACD2 is. And the third thing is price confirmation. Has the price actually moved in your favor? What I then did, that's the manual rules to everything I've just told you. Those are the manual rules, okay? Those are the manual rules to things like this, okay? Is I then automated it. So I added that indicator. So this software was free. Those manual rules are giving you free. I'll tell you how to download this indicator, that indicator telling you when to buy and sell, in a second. All right, stay on the webinar. All right, to that. So he said, you automate it. He said, after all, when you drive, you don't drive a bloody manual car anymore, do you, Alpesh? And I said to him, well, Actually, at that time, I didn't have the Ferrari California, but when I did get it, I said to him, well, actually, that's manual. He goes, yeah, well, stop being a smart ass, Alpesh. Anyway, the point is this. You automated it, but that's a separate issue. You don't have to automate if you don't want, right? I'll run through those rules again. Flat to rising MACD and stochastic in this and the next time frame. All right. And that then gave me levels of confidence, reduced the stress. But I tell you what else it did. I'm going to show you something amazing in the next 15 minutes. I need 15 minutes of your time, which really increased all the odds of success and making money. Do you know what it was? I told you it was the price confirmation. Well, actually, I'm going to show you in the next 15 minutes what really led to fame and fortune. And when I say fame and fortune, I developed the strategy when I was at Oxford, red carnation, lost exam. Okay. I then used it to win competitions in the Financial Times. This is me on the front cover of the business section of the FT. Okay. That's what the FT said. Patel is top FTSE 100 forecaster. I used it in a competition over 1 year to predict the FTSE 100. Over 1 year, I beat everybody else, including Neil Woodford, who was in that competition. He runs billions. But he came within, he was wrong by 30% of the final value of the FTSE 100. I was wrong by 0.5%. I won. I beat everybody. It's in print. The Financial Times then said this strategy, put it into the books and everything else. So started doing that. They then said, look, teach people about trading. I said, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do for FT Cons because I want, my next step was, right, where does this take me? This takes me to becoming a hedge fund manager. So I said, I want that fame. I want that fortune. Okay. Okay, so what I did, Danny and everyone else, I'll explain the rules again towards the end of the webinar in the next 15 minutes, so don't worry. I'll go through everything and all your questions in the next 15 minutes. I did it in the FT, 200 odd columns teaching people, but do you know who paid for my hedge fund? Merrill Lynch HSBC. They said, we want this research onto our websites for our clients. I said, yeah, I'll happily share it with you. I've shared it with people in the FT, but I'm going to charge you a bloody fortune, Merrill Lynch HSBC, because you're a big fat bank. So I gave it to them. And they paid me so much money that I set up my hedge fund. That's our first offices in Regent Street. And then we moved to Waterloo Place and to now in Mayfair, because St. James's and Mayfair are the two places to have. What I did is automate the rules. Okay, because what I discovered is, and we did a project called pipspredator. We automated that indicator. So you buy when the price goes above the horizontal line. Keep it really simple, because complexity is the enemy of execution. Keep it really simple, because that confirms that the price momentum and the odds of a profitable move have increased. Okay, flat to multiple indicators, multiple time frame. And the reason you have this is just as a traffic light. I said to my IT guys, give me a traffic light, which tells me how the stochastic and the MACD are in this time frame, and the MACD2 is the MACD in the next time frame. So it's giving me momentum across multiple time frames. So the odds of a profitable move have significantly increased. The odds of a bad move have decreased. And we're still long, by the way, Australian dollar, US dollar on this chart. We are still long. Some of you might do it, euro, US dollar on that chart. Okay, I don't normally have so many open positions. Might have 3 or 4 open at any one time. The reason I don't want many positions is because I don't want the complexity. By the way, here's something. Where are we? US dollar, Canadian dollar. Look at that, 4-hour charts. We've had a sell signal on that little puppy. We had the sell signal a couple of days ago. Now look how it's fallen off the cliff. Let me just show you. We had the buy signal, like I said, on my birthday, and we had the sell on the 27th of July, my anniversary, and now it's just fallen off a cliff today. Okay, completely fallen off the cliff. Got it? Fallen off the cliff. Okay, now let me tell you, next 15 minutes, I'll show you how to download this. Let me show you what we found, which was actually earth-shattering. If you want to make money and be successful trading, I need you for the next 15 minutes. What we did is an analysis of people before an indicator and after. What people don't realize is trading profitability is not about a holy grail of you buy here, you sell here. It was all about confidence in a strategy. When we gave people an indicator, their confidence increased. If you don't have confidence, how are you going to follow any strategy anybody ever tells you? You're not. It was about reducing your stress, because all trading is about trading psychology. And with an indicator, people had lower stress, like I've got. I'm doing an indicator whilst doing this webinar. Okay, and that's why I can trade. I'm trading live trades whilst doing a webinar because I don't have any stress. It was about having a business plan. If you don't have a business plan, how are you ever going to achieve your goals and achieve your long-term profits? With an indicator, that's what they had. With an indicator, they had clarity of exits, clarity of entries, and clarity of stop losses. Got it? That was the critical factor to trading success. It was the bigger picture nobody ever saw before. They all thought it was about when to buy, when to sell. That's why all these other coaches get it wrong. It is about these extra things which lead you to trading success, which is what indicators give them. Which was the best time frame that we found? before I tell you how people got rich, okay, is this. The 1 hour time frame. Why did I say the 1 hour time frame? Let me show you the maths behind it and give you the inside guide on it. The number of trades we did on a 1 hour time frame, even if you've got a day job, it's the 1 hour time frame, because you're only going to look at the screen for 15 minutes before and after work. Because if you get a signal across 8 windows, it might only be on one of those windows. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The reason I'm giving you 5-minute, 15-minute bars here is because it's more dramatic in a live webinar. Okay, but they're smaller positions. The 1 hour is the perfect balance between frequency of trading and position and profitability. And I'll show you the maths why. And it is the holy freaking grail. And when we got it, we went, oh my God. Yeah, that's what happened, right? Now I'll tell you why. Okay, why it's the 1 hour time frame. This is what we found. We did 25 trades, not back testing, because back testing tells you we traded at 3 in the morning. We didn't. We never traded at 3 in the morning. So back-tested results were bullshit to us, okay? Because they showed us we made loads, and we never made as much as back-testing ever showed us. No, this is what we actually did. We did about 25 trades in a month on a 1 hour time frame, okay? The net pips we captured was about 2,250. But here's another little inside secret. On a good month, we might do as many as 4,000 pips. A good month like the Brexit month last month, in June, we did 4,000 plus pips because that was Brexit. But typically, we do about 2,250 net pips. That is net points we capture. Profitable, less losing. Profitable, less losing. 2,250. In a bad month, we might have as little as 0. Yeah, Alpesh said he doesn't make money some months. Yes, because that's what real traders are like. But guess what? Alpesh isn't worried because the excess he makes on the good months, like June, make up for the bad months. So ironed out, we're looking at on average about 2,250 pips. I can't guarantee you a monthly income, but what I can guarantee you is if you iron out your winning months and your poorer months, this is what will happen. Winning streak, best streak, 70-30. 70 winning trades out of 100. Losing streak, 30 out of 100 winning. Losing streaks, fine, because we're only trading small sizes, remember, so we don't mind having losing streaks. But none of this matters. That's not what's important. I'll let you into another secret of hedge funds. We don't care whether we have winning or losing streaks. What we care about is how much are we making and how much are we losing. So how much was the most we could lose on any one trade? The most we found we were losing on any one trade was about 50 pips on the 1 hour time frame, was about 50 points. Okay, so if we did £2 a point or $2 a point, then 2 times 50 means the most we'd lose on a trade was $100 or £100. That's too much money to lose on a trade for most private investors. But don't worry, hold on, wait, I'm getting really excited. Okay, £2 a point, £2 a point times the 2,250 points net we captured across a month meant overall you were capturing 4,500, weren't you? Because 2 times 2,250 in a month. Wait a minute. 4,500 is 10 times more than the 500 a month I said most people want. Most people want 500 a month. Most people only want 10% of that. So I thought, this is great. We don't need people to be trading £2 a point or $2 a point. They can do 20 pence a point. They can do 20 pence. They can do 1/10 of that because that will hit their target of 500 a month, which is what I want for them. I want a small target because small steps mean small losses, which mean you're more likely to do it. You're more likely to achieve it. You're more likely not to be put off, not to give up, not to be disheartened. How amazing is that? Because it is all about psychology. The people who learned and got rich and made money were the ones who wanted to learn and never got disheartened. And they didn't get disheartened, not because they had stronger willpower, but because they were losing so little sums on the rare occasions when they were losing. Why should they ever lose? Well, you could have a losing streak. A coin comes up heads 50% of the time, but it can have a winning streak to be right 9 times out of 10. I don't want to rely on winning streaks, but I want to make sure if it has a losing streak of being right only 3 times out of 10, I don't get wiped out and I don't lose my money, and therefore I'm not going to be stressed. I'm not going to be stressed if all I'm doing is risking 20 pence a point and achieving my 500 a month if I'm a private investor. Got it? That's the psychology of it. So then I said to people, what do you want? Tell me what you want. That'll make you rich. So 70% of them said, just give us the indicator. We want to download the indicator. But 30% said, don't just give us the software and the indicator. We want more. We don't ever want to pay each week or each month or each year, but we want you for free each week, each month, each year to check our business plan for us. Don't charge us each week, each month, or each year. Be like those driving schools. You know, the driving schools which say, if you don't pass first time or if you don't become profitable, all your driving lessons are free until you do. So I said, fine, we'll use the same model. And they said, we want you to go through the business plan for us. We want you to look through our practice and our test, but don't charge us each week, each month, or each year to do that. Give us a little exam, give us a certificate because you're well known on the BBC, so we can put your name on our CV if we want to go into the finance industry to make sure we do this. But only 30% wanted this. 70% said, let us download the indicator and then piss off, Alpesh, and let us make money off it. But make sure you're not charging us each week, each month, each year for the indicator. Okay. They said, track our progress. 30% said, track our progress. Put it into like an online little bite-sized course we can do whenever we want. So we're not in little classrooms having to do it at the fixed times for everyone else. That's not convenient. We can do it 3 in the morning. We can do it at 7 in the morning. We can do it whenever we want to suit our jobs or our night jobs or whatever else, or because we're on holiday or because we're on sick leave or whatever else. And they said August is the best time because we're all on holiday, so it's a good time to learn, or around work. Make sure you can be our mentor for life, but don't charge us each week, each month, each year. I said, look, you're asking for a lot. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Jeff Bezos, I stole an idea from Jeff Bezos. He is the CEO, he's a hedge fund manager who's the owner of Amazon. I thought, if he is a hedge fund manager, can set up a technology which is worth billions. My technology is worth billions. I thought to myself, this is worth billions, not necessarily just in the hedge fund, because we've got 10 strategies in the hedge fund, which will get us to $1 billion of assets under management, okay, telling us when to buy and sell. But as a standalone technology, just like Google's a standalone technology, right? Google is an algorithm which tells you information. Well, this is an algorithm which tells you when to buy and sell, although you can do it manually. Well, you can still manually search the yellow pages. You can manually, don't have to use Google. I thought, this is $1 billion business. This is bloody amazing. I thought, you know, people will want to be bloody shareholders in this. They will, like Google Ventures or venture capitalists. I thought, this is what 30% of people wanted, but 70% didn't want that. They didn't want the whole mentoring. They just wanted to download the indicator and get on with it. And I said, okay, I'll let you do that. I said, let me show you. They said, show us how much money it makes. I said, let me show you. So this is the principle of it. You get that, and then it moves up. And it gradually started dawning on me, geez, we have got something which is bloody amazing. It's something which is better than just saying this is how you trade. This is a financial technology, which is, let's say, either my hedge fund will make me billions or this technology will, surely. Because the scarce resource is the ability to have hedge fund managers putting technology together, like Jeff Bezos, hedge fund manager at D. Shaw, setting up Amazon. That's the amazing thing. That's the unicorn. That's the next Uber, which removes every obstacle anybody's ever had. Because without an indicator, we will try to work out, why don't people get rich? Through my 200 columns in the FT, all my books, they read the books, they go to seminars, they read all my columns. How come they still weren't rich? And we found out the holy grail, the missing bit, was they never had an indicator. Because they read all my books, they went through all my columns, they'd go to my seminars and all the rest of it. We thought, none of those things will ever make them rich. Because trading without an indicator is like this. You get one opportunity at a time. You needed them to trade like this. Multiple opportunities, like a bloody combine harvester. That's what you needed. They had an indicator which told them when to sell, when to buy, and that, so even if you had losses, you were stress-free, they were small in size, but when you had wins, they were big, and winners added to winners. So even if you were right 50% of the time, the wins were far bigger than the losses. You weren't stressed. Because like I said, before and after you had confidence in strategy, lower stress, a business plan, clarity of exits, clarity of entries, clarity of stop losses. That was the secret to making money trading, not just downloading an indicator and watching it. You can, most will. Most will, that's all they'll do. But the really clever ones, they worked out it's because it's giving them all of this. Not just when to buy, it's giving them all of that. That's what an indicator really does. It doesn't just give you that. It gives you lower stress and confidence. That's what it does. That's why we put it together like that, because it gives you the psychology. It removes the psychological problem. It allows you to go from being short all the way to being long. You can't do that without some kind of automation, because you won't have the guts for it. You won't have the guts to go from short to long. And it is all about the ability to have those guts. But it was something else. We then said, well, why are they still? What is it? What is it with a few of them who are still not getting it? Then we realized the secret was not just an indicator. It was the fact that it was coming from me as a hedge fund manager, so it was somebody they could trust, from somebody who was a professionally trained communicator so they could understand it, because what's the point of having these things if you don't understand it? Somebody with the credentials of Bloomberg and Financial Times, not these professional coaches who don't have these credentials. Somebody who is an Oxford Don, I'm a visiting fellow at Oxford University, I'm lecturing there at the end of October again, okay, and had Financial Times award-winning picks, not these made-up awards. That was all holistic part of it, because any Muppet can tell you, look at Fibonacci, look at MACD, look at this, look at that. It needed all of this to psychologically make sure you followed it, to psychologically make sure you did it. And the only way to get rich was make sure you weren't paying for something each week, each month, okay, that you could make the money and keep 100% of your money. So can it make money? Well, I'm going to show you some live trades again. Is it easy? Well, I did it whilst doing a webinar. Can you do it anytime with a day job? Yes, because the Forex market is open 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, but we're going to do it so low risk. You're not using that leverage and margin. How much does it make? Well, I showed you with the 1 hour time frames how much, and that's my favorite time frame. Does it make life easier? Well, you've just shown that it does. Give me 10 more minutes. I'll show you how to download it as well. Are there checklists and simple rules? Hell yes, there are. I'll give you the same rules I give my hedge fund employees in my fund, because they're really simple. This is what some of my apprentices did. Okay, this full disclosure is not me. This is them trading euro dollar 5-minute bars. See, they went short. They got to show me this to show me that they are able to drive on their own, as it were. Euro dollar 5-minute bars. They don't have to do this if they don't want. They can just say they don't have to hear from me ever again. But 30% of them want me to manage them, monitor them. Okay, 3-hour trades, 75 pips, including additional positions. They did 75 times $30 a pip. That's $2,250 in 3 hours. Full disclosure, not my trade. This is an apprentice. Okay, that was mentoring. Euro dollar using the indicator. Euro dollar 15-minute bars. Again, an apprentice, not me. Full disclosure. Euro dollar 15-minute bars, 9 hours, 73 pips, including additional positions. 73 times $30. So that's $2,190. Okay, going up. Got it? Or this one, sterling dollar, 15-minute bars, 62 pips, including additional positions, $30 a pip, $62 a pip, $1,860 over 6 hours. This is apprentices. Some of these are beginners, okay, who are going to start off very small size, and beginners are going to take longer than experienced people. A beginner might take 3 months. An experienced person will start this afternoon, because what they'll do, the cheeky gits, will start this afternoon, as Louise has already said, not on that trade. They'll start this afternoon on something like, where are we? Here. The Australian dollar, US dollar, and still have a bit of a gain there. It's come off a bit, doesn't matter. We've not got an exit signal in profit. Or she's also done, whoops, where we gone? That one earlier. Got loss, small gain. And she'll run through those profits off the back of what I've been saying. See that? Euro dollar long and still going up. If she's got losses, they'll be kept small. They'll be kept small through the nature of the strategy. And yeah, some of them are cheeky buggers. Like I said, I know some of them have had this one going for a while, because I've had 1 or 2 of you who've seen the webinar where I've given this trade before on an email, US dollar, Canadian dollar, and in the webinar where I've been long US dollar, Canadian dollar for a while now and exited there, and you've had this big fat gain. Now, that's fine. I don't mind people trading and being cheeky little buggers. That's fine. And trading off these and adding to them. I want them to do that. I want them to make money. So somebody once said to me, what's your favorite currency, your favorite time frame, and give us a typical month? Well, I said my favorite is sterling dollar. Okay, 1 hour. Okay, my favorite currencies generally Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, and New Zealand dollar. I know, but overall, my favorite pair, just I don't know why. I don't know why it's sterling dollar 1 hour, but it is. So last month, sorry, no, in April, I showed him this as a typical month. So I'm showing you this image, and I said to him, "This is what it looks like." There'll be some periods where you miss an entire drop in the whole market. You miss it. You know this. Because in the real world of real trading, hasn't that happened to you where you just missed it? Because the market isn't foretold. It is not a crystal ball. It's not a horoscope. It's not pre-written. And sometimes you'll have small losses like this. So what? You have a small loss. You have a couple of small losses. So what? Who cares? We had a small loss. Doesn't matter that we had a small loss. But you can have small losses. Okay? Because this is what you'll get. You might get some small gains, like I told you at the start of the webinar, but you'll get big wins. You'll get some big wins. You'll get medium wins, big wins, medium to big wins. That is what real trading is, and that is fine. Real trading in real life will be some small losses. You'll miss some big trades, but you'll get big wins. That is what profitability looks like. But let me tell you what else it looks like before I show you how to download this. It looks like this. Only ever trust people whose strategy has been endorsed, not by some random member of the public from Croydon or Manchester or whatever else who's done a little video testimonial. This is the only testimonial that matters when it is in print on the Financial Times. Right, this is the back cover of my book, and it's the Chicago Board of Trade, the world's largest exchange. It's the chairman from there, gets to the heart of the matter of trading by clearly elucidating the methodologies of trading strategies while capturing the ethos of singular successful traders. That is an endorsement of a strategy. That's my strategy. Okay, it's my longest serving strategy I've been using now for 20 odd years. Okay, that's an endorsement, the one that I've just shown you, the Pips Predator strategy, which we automated. What we also did is we took 25 traders, gave them 100 trades each. They could pick any trade they wanted. They could pick any trade they wanted on here. Okay, 25 traders, 100 trades, because they could pick any time frame and any currency pairs or whatever else they wanted. Okay, and this is what we found across the trades they did. This is what we found stress-free. The number of profitable trades that turned to a loss decreased substantially. The number of big losing trades decreased substantially with the indicator. After the indicator, the Pips Predator indicator, the number of big losing trades dropped substantially. Now you might say, aha, Alpesh, you said there should be no big losing trades at the start of the webinar. Yes, but if people didn't follow the indicator correctly, we still included that in the test results, because even a pilot error is important. You've got to include that. I can't just give you back-tested results and say, oh, back-tested, you would have made this much, and it's your own fault for not following it. If you can't follow something because it's too powerful, it's too complicated, then that's got to be included. So the number of big losing trades did drop. Occasionally people didn't follow it and they had one or two minor ones, but overall, they were still profitable. We took those 100 trades off those 25 traders. Remember, Pips Predator 250. This is 2015, so I've got to do this again in 2016. 100% of them, all 25 of them, said they had an increase in average profits of winning trades, a reduction in the size of average losses, okay, and an increase in their biggest winning trades. You didn't even know you're supposed to measure those things. You didn't even know you had to measure those things, did you? And you did. Because what we did with the indicator is take it to the next level, not just tell you when to buy and sell, but make sure you went from this to this, this to this. It was all about the psychology to make sure you even did things you didn't realize you were going to do. It's like a straitjacket and forcing a discipline upon you. You didn't even realize it was being enforced because you were just following buy and sells and you didn't realize you were therefore doing the right things. Without an indicator, this is why people don't get rich, because they're doing one trade at a time. It's like being a coal miner. They're poor people because they're working for someone else. They're doing one thing at a time. With an indicator, they own the machinery, the infrastructure, the technology to get multiple opportunities. They're only picking one opportunity at a time, but multiple opportunities. Thousands of people said to me, will you give us personal coaching and mentoring? And I said, no, the technology doesn't exist that I can run a hedge fund and do it until now. Okay, they said, can we copy your trades and follow your trades? I said, I'll do better than that. Okay, instead of you just copying my trades, I'll give you the bloody technology so you can actually see them and pick which ones you want to do. Okay, you'll see all the things I see, okay, as well as my trades. You might be able to do others if you want, using my same principles. They said, will you do training workshops and seminars? I said, no, I'll only ever do webinars. And the reason is I've got a business to run. Okay, anybody who does seminars, they haven't got a hedge fund to run, and so they're going to give crap seminars. They're going to give you crap webinars because they're not running a hedge fund. Okay, I said, I'll give you webinars, I'll give you videos, I'll give you all of that, I'll give you email access to me, but I can't give you live seminars for that reason, because there's not enough time in the day. Okay, this is one guy, one of my apprentices. I met him last week. Again, he was flying through London. He's going to New York. I love the Pips Predator indicator. I just started using it, and it simplifies my trading, especially as I have a day job. So trade around that before and after work. Has already started delivering results for me. Just wanted to say thank you. It's Biku Alawalia. And remember what I said. Actual results, not back testing. Back testing said we were all making gazillions. Real results, you only did about 25 in a month, one a day using this. And net pips were 2,250. Some months it might be 0, some months it might be 4,000. The idea is it averages out at that, which means at 20 pence or 20 cents a point, you're getting your 500 a month, which is what I wanted. Then I stole an idea from Donald Trump and from Lord Sugar, an idea of taking on apprentices, but I could only take on a limited number of apprentices like them. And the reason I did that is I thought, if I'm going to be Jeff Bezos and have a technology company which can be worth billions, not just my hedge fund, but a technology company which could be worth billions, because it's like Google, it's an algorithm which gives you information which is worth billions, then surely I should prove that. I should prove it to Google Ventures. I went to Silicon Valley and proved this to Google Ventures, and they said, show us apprentices, show us the results, show us profitability. And I said, fine, I'm going to take on a limited number of apprentices to prove it. And I do that. I take on a limited number of apprentices to prove it. And I give them a total money back guarantee. I never charge them anything each week, each month, or each year. So they keep 100% of their money. I let them keep the indicator for 30 days, no quibble, all right, to make as much money from it as they want, or just to monitor and observe it as they want, so they have no risk and no quibble. They don't have to show me their trades. They don't have to do anything. They don't even have to communicate with me if they don't want. 100%, and I'm on the BBC, so you know I'm not going to mess around with you. I've got a public reputation, not like these other nut jobs. No quibble, not for 7 days, not for 14, because I feel you need 30 days to really test drive something. You might be going on holiday, for instance, whatever the reason is. But I limit it to 25, and the reason is because then for those of you, the 30% of you who want the mentoring part of it as well, it's all part and parcel of one thing. You can do that. I'll give you the email address, sorry, the link in a second, but it's first come, first serve, I'm afraid, my friends. It's first come, first serve. All right. But I'll give you that in just a second. And what I did is I stole another idea for the mentoring. Like I said, most of you don't want the mentoring. You just want to download the indicator and go. I stole this from Oxford University. Okay, I stole this idea from Oxford. And this is what got people, the beginners, the most excited. I made sure they had mentoring for free for life. Okay, after they got the indicator, they didn't have to pay anything each week, each month, or anything else. Okay, they got the email mentoring. They also got over 100 hours of little videos, so they could do it anytime they wanted for mentoring. They got a website so they could get mentored anytime they wanted. They got a 12-week bite-sized course so they could do it in small bite sizes, so they were never overwhelmed, because beginners never want to be overwhelmed, so they could get to profitability. But they always had access to me. They always had access to me through Skype, through email, through webinars, through live chat, through every single bloody method. Could even come to my office in Mayfair and I'll take them out for a coffee. They had all of that. They had my trading manual, they had articles, they had that bespokeness through an online questionnaire, and they had my books to keep, whether or not they said nope, trading's not for us. They could still keep my 2 most recent books worth £50 just for trying it. Only goes to the first 25 attendees to sign up. It is a one-off license fee, and the reason is I'm proving this technology, that it is amazing to Google Ventures, that it is a potential billion-dollar business. It's the next bloody Google, because I'm a hedge fund manager just like Jeff Bezos, and I think it is. But it is, I'm afraid, first come, first serve. I take on groups of 25 apprentices. I have about 100 apprentices at any given time, but I only get 5 to 6 emails a day requiring mentoring from them. Why? Because the vast majority are using the indicator already. They're using the indicator to trade, okay, or hey, the website, and I'll show you that in a second, for mentoring is so good that they don't need to bother me or take up much time anyway. So out of those 100, I take on batches of 25 when they graduate to profitability, and they don't have to graduate to profitability. They can just use the indicator and never bother me if they want. Graduate to profitability means they're using me every day or every week or whatever. Only 30% want to use me every day. The rest just want to use the indicator. Yes, the indicator and the mentoring are all part and parcel of one and the same thing. You only pay a one-off fee for lifetime. The data is free. The software is free. You can have the software for free without the indicator. I've emailed you the link for that. It's the third of the brokers. The third broker I give you is that one. So you can have all of this live data and all this without the indicator for free. Absolutely. So you can trade off this. We're short on that still. Okay, I've got to show you the euro dollar one because we're still long on this. Okay, so you can have it without the indicator if you want. It's just the indicator because some of you want the indicator. And we think the indicator is the psychological breakthrough. It is the thing which means the last bit of training you'll ever need. No more seminars, no more classes, no more books, no more time wasting. And from somebody who's in the public eye, so you know it's reputable, giving you no quibble for 30 whole days, which I think is a business model which proves itself. Well done, David, you are on. So are you, Christopher and Michael, you are on as well. So is Anjana, you are on as well. I've got you. Congratulations to you, Stevie. Well done. You are on. Yes, let me show you some of the mentoring. Yes, you can just download the indicator and start trading. It takes 10 minutes to load up. If it takes you more than 10 minutes because you're not computer literate, just message me and I'll load it on for you remotely. It's not a problem. Okay, it sits on your computer and you don't have any weekly fees, no monthly fees, nothing like that. Okay. As well, Steve, he says he's on the edge for signing up. Anybody else who's on the edge for signing up, just let me know, and I'll email you something which will take you over the edge. Steve, thanks for that. Just look at your email inbox, and you're going to see something which will take you over the edge on that. And the reason I sort of say to people, yeah, you can download. Some people are worried. Right, they're really worried that, wait a minute, I'm not computer literate, Alpesh. How am I going to download this? I said, look, I'll walk you through it, me personally. So I try and answer every single question, an issue that they have. I want you to message me any hurdle you have, okay? And I'll get you go through that, okay? For that, when you sign up, just let me know that you're signing up and I'll give you a shout out as well. If you're an apprentice already, you don't need me to send you the email. For those who are on the edge, congratulations, got another big batch of people. Brenda, welcome to you. Alan, spelt with a U. Congratulations to you. Ahmed or Ahmed, whichever, congratulations to you as well, okay, on that front. I'm going to email those of you who are on the edge, who are saying you're on the edge. Please look at your inbox immediately for that, just in case. Let me just take you through the mentoring on that. For those who want the mentoring, most just want to download this and get started trading straight away. For those who want the mentoring, let me just explain it to you, okay? You get a dedicated website. This is my mentoring website. So you've got me 24/7. You've got live chat and so on. All right. What I do is any question that you have, any problems you have, I tell you what I love about this website. Not only do you get daily trades, daily mentoring emails, and if you're going on holiday, just save the emails. You can come back to it in your own time whenever you want. It's built around you. I don't want anybody ever to have any reason not to learn. If you're going on holiday, that's fine. If you don't want to follow it, okay, that's fine. You can just use the indicator, okay, as well. Not an issue. And what I do with this website is you can go on holiday, like I said, if you want, keep all the emails, come back to whenever you want. Don't have to use the mentoring, just use the indicator if you want. All of these issues ensure that you're always protected, you're always sort of saved from it all. Let me just put that to one side. Okay, always saved and always protected from having any issues whatsoever. I don't want anybody ever to have any issues, but let me tell you what you do get. Not only do you get the Skype contact, the email, come to my offices in Mayfair to meet me if you wish, but more importantly, the way you're learning, I'll show you the way you're learning, okay, is you've got the 12-week course bite size. You can do that in your own time. You don't even have to do it if you don't want. Like I said, most people get the indicator and the manual and they start trading straight away. Okay, that's the vast majority of you. You just start trading straight away. You don't do anything else. And that's fine. That is absolutely perfectly fine. And I don't have a problem with people doing it that way. All right, but for those who want the mentoring, you've got this 12-week course, which, and I'll tell you the 3 ways we accelerate people's learning, which is mind-blowing. The 3 ways we learn how to accelerate people's learning is, 1, we do things bite-sized. So all of these little videos you can learn at 3 in the morning in your own time. When you've got a question, you can come back to me. Although it's 12 weeks, you don't miss anything because you can start anytime you want, whenever you want. Okay, you don't have to even do it at all because you get the thing. Okay, you get it. All of you telling you are on the edge, don't worry, I'm sending you little emails to get you across that. Just check your spam folder as well. So we do this, and we found 3 techniques which got everybody through, got absolutely everybody through the issue of learning how to trade. One was videos. Okay, we realized that on things like setting up the screen and so on, they loved these little videos. That accelerated their learning to becoming a profitable trader. It wasn't just having an indicator and the manual, though for most it was that. Okay, what took them over the edge was the videos. The other thing which took them over the edge was this, that I'm a public figure, so they know they're not going to get messed around. Okay, come and visit me at the BBC if you want. All right, August the 5th is my next appearance, 6 a.m. I'm a public figure, so they knew I wasn't going to mess them around. Okay, so that took them partly over the edge there. You know what else as a little secret, not just videos, were these little cheat sheets. that took them over the edge, because as cheat sheets, which told them how to set things up like me, they had the ability to see and to learn how to do everything. Because for some, they weren't as quick, you know, and they needed all of this. And they could then ask me an email and they could say to me, oh, actually, Alpesh, I've got a question. Okay, I've got a question, and I need to know this, I needed to know that, and so on and so forth. Okay, so they always had access to me. These little techniques is what we learned took people over the edge. It's what made people profitable. It wasn't simply an indicator, it wasn't simply some kind of bloody tutor. It needed that hand-holding. Okay, some didn't need it. Okay, the experts didn't need it, but by having that there for them, okay, that's what made the difference. Now, all of you signing up, let me know. There's a whole bunch of you, more of you who've just come in. Okay, Sujit, Bob, Stephanie, congratulations to you as well. Sel, I think I've got that right. Welcome to you. Sia, like the singer, I think. Welcome to you. Another singer here, Tiffany. Well, I think Tiffany's a singer. I might be showing my age there as well. Welcome to you as well. Okay, so what we found through all of that is that this indicator gave you the additional support people wanted, okay, as well. Now, the preferred brokers, I'm going to email you all. Marv's got a question. What about my preferred brokers? I'm going to email you the names of those. The third one of those is the one that you can use on MT4. Now, some people ask me, how does this indicator work? Does it only work on that software you're giving? Well, that software is free, and that's why, yes, it works on that software, but that doesn't stop you using all the other things that you might use alongside it if you want, like TradeStation or anything else. So don't worry about that either, okay? Don't worry about that either if you're using all the other stuff. Delighted that you're on, Steve. I think I mentioned that as well. Marv, I'll send you the email as well. I think I just did, actually, Marvin. Yes, I did. So that's good. Okay. And what I discovered with all of this, and anybody else who's on, let me know, is that when we then gave a 10-minute questionnaire, the success rates went up even more. Okay. Because when you give this little PDF, oh, I've just been asked what's the URL because it's not on the screen at the moment. Let me just give you that again. Let me just broadcast over. What we discovered, okay, is when I give this 10-minute questionnaire, then I could customize it and make it bespoke for everyone, okay? And I asked them about their trade management and their trading losses, their technical analysis. Now, the reason that works so incredibly well is that's how you make things bespoke for people. If they want that, others, they just go to the website, they download it, okay? Yes, it works on Mac. Yes, it works on PC, takes 10 minutes to download. No, there's no additional cost. There's no data cost. There's no upsells. No, you will not have anybody calling you. You won't have somebody saying to you after a month, oh, pay this. That's why you're not profitable. You need to buy this. You need to buy that. Upgrades are free for life. I will always be the mentor for you people. In future, when we get the venture capital funding, it is going to be £2,000 a year for the indicator, £2,000 a year for mentoring, but not for you people. It is a one-off fee for you people forever. But I'm saying in future for others, whoa, that's how it's supposed to. Let me move that off the screen. So there you see, that's how it's supposed to look. It'll be like that for you. Okay, got it. We I also want to thank Oscar. I want to thank Zena, and I've got an ES. I want to thank ES. I want to thank Warren Buffett because apparently somebody signed up on the webinar as Warren Buffett and he's just come on board. Well, if it is the real Warren Buffett, I'm going to take that as a quote. As well. Thanks for that, mate. That's hilarious. Thank you for that one. Let me answer a few more questions. I've got some great more questions. Keep the questions coming in, my friends. Yes, it is risk-free. You get to keep the books, even if trading's not for you. You get to keep those. There's only 25 apprentices at a time. There's about 3 left for those of you asking as well. I do limit the size of apprentices at any given time because if I get more than 5 to 6 emails in a day, my secretary doesn't allow me to take on any more new apprentices. So don't worry, you guys will get my full attention. The way, oh, by the way, yeah, just show you that again for this. You know it's secure because there's the company name, and that's been fully validated because it's got the full company name. Whenever you do internet transactions, you should make sure it's the full company name, not just the padlock, because anybody can get padlock, but the full company name. That means somebody's physically verified the premises, so you can again trust them more. Not just that, they're on the BBC, obviously, as well. And what we do, once you click on that, oh yes, all my apprentices get live webinars every Saturday as well. They get live webinars. Okay, the webinars are stop losses at 11 a.m., entry orders at 12, limit orders at 1 o'clock, money management at 2 o'clock, trading psychology at 3 o'clock, and adding to profitable positions at 4 o'clock. Absolutely. Every single Saturday, you'll get that. So you got access to me through that. You got access through emails. You got access through the website for mentoring. You got access through live chat. You've got all of those ways. Basically, I wanted no excuses whatsoever. But I tell you what else apprentices get, and some of them love this. They don't just get the daily emails and the trades and all the rest of it and the books to keep. They also get this. They get access to my LinkedIn. Okay. That means you've got access to my people and my network. Whoa, how did that happen? That shouldn't happen. On my LinkedIn, okay, I'm going to have to look up my LinkedIn because LinkedIn have got me off LinkedIn, which is a bit weird. On my LinkedIn, maybe it's because I'm not signed in. All right, you can see all the connections on there. And as a result of seeing all the connections on there, here it is, it's going on, I think, on there, what happens is I will connect you up. There we go. I'll connect you up through my LinkedIn to anybody and everybody who's in my network. And that means you can get introductions to anyone. You can get introductions to absolutely anybody you want through that profile. Okay, and I'll get you messages and all the additions and all my networks through that. I think LinkedIn's a bit going offline a bit, but we'll come back to that in a second. But you've got access to my LinkedIn as well, all my profile and all the rest of it, and all my feeds and networks. Now it's incredible. Now let me go back to the trading side of things and the trading questions that people might have, and I'm going to come back to LinkedIn as well. What we found is 70% just want to download the indicator and then get started straight away. Yes, indeed, it's for beginners. In terms of adding to profitable positions, entry, stop losses, there's a manual, there's videos for that as well. There's also my webinars. Some of you won't need any of that help. 70% of you will, and you've got all of that for you as well on there. Absolutely. Euro dollar, what's my view on it? I've got a question on that. There we go. That's how I decide my views. What's my view on sterling? Well, we're short it at the moment and we're in profits on that as well. It's as simple as that, and that's how we go about placing those trades. Okay, it's simple as that. And that's how you can be stress-free. That's how you get your multiple opportunities. It's how you get your multiple opportunities. It's how you decide that, yes, I'm getting ample opportunities. I'm only picking a few of those at any given time. And that is what makes the difference. Getting that access to opportunities is what makes the difference between, well, basically rich and poor, because it's access to opportunities which is going to make all the difference. Let's talk that Australian dollar, US dollar. I've been asked how that's performing from earlier on. Yep, well, it's flattened out. Okay, so we're there. We're in the profit. We're in profit. We had a couple of trades on that today, as you can see, and it's been a good one. You can see why I like Australian dollar related trades as well. Yeah, Richard said LinkedIn's broken. It's not just mine. I think it's just LinkedIn generally at the moment. I think LinkedIn might be offline for whatever reasons. But I'm on there. I'm Alpesh Patel. You'll be able to find me anyway. Only for apprentices. All my apprentices have full access, and I'll introduce you to anyone. And it's only for apprentices on my webinars as well each weekend. Okay, those are only for my apprentices as well. Okay, so I want you guys to know that those are only for apprentices as well. Michael, don't worry. I will walk you through the whole process in a moment. Once I finish the webinar, I'll walk you through the process. So don't worry as well. Marv, you can try it for 30 days. It's money. It's a full money back guarantee. You know I'm on the BBC, so I'm going to mess you around, and it's no quibble. I want you to know, no quibble guarantee as well. The poll results you should be able to see. The vast majority of people have said, well, 27% think Trump wins and we make a killing selling US dollar. Well, you should be able to see the results on the screen as well. I'm afraid I think Trump's going to win. I just think the world is mental at the moment, and I'm afraid I think that's actually what's going to happen. I'm sorry to say, my friends, that I fear Trump is going to win. Okay, I'm sorry to say. I just want you to know that. Okay, as well, Sylvain, don't worry. What you want to trade through, Sylvain, let me know if you're an apprentice, because I'll go into it more. Yes, Cash, you can do it on a Mac. I use a Mac myself as well. I know, Jeff, I don't want Trump to win. I do not want him to have the nuclear launch codes, but he is going to win, and he is an idiot. Okay, and he is going to win. You know how I know he's an idiot? Because Michael Bloomberg, who's a New York billionaire, said he's an idiot. Okay, I'm sorry, but I think that's going to happen. The only good news I can give you is it means there's going to be more market volatility, which means more opportunity for you guys to make money. All right, you're going to see more market volatility, more opportunity to make money as well. Werner, yes, you can get alerts, Audible, email, push alerts on iPhone and iPad, but I want you to just get the signals 15 minutes a day from a PC or laptop, and then trade off your phone or iPad, but don't be monitoring it all the time. Okay, Sylvain, I'd say don't place trades through MT4. This is MT4. Don't place your trades through here. Get your signals through here. It's too complicated to place trades through here. Place your trades through the cell phone. Okay. On the issue of deciding how much money to trade, how to minimize any losses, picking stop losses, and so on, I give you a simple manual which will teach you all of that. So don't worry. Okay, as well. Yes, H. Patel, it works on Windows, including XP. We've actually got an old computer, which is XP. We've also got a Mac. It works on Mac and that as well. But there's only a couple of spaces left. So any of you who are still interested, please hurry up. Otherwise, you're going to lose them. And then, I don't know, I haven't got any more webinars booked because my secretary has to determine my schedule. In future, yes, there is a plan eventually to have the price to be £2,000 a year for the indicator, and £2,000 a year for mentoring. But for the moment, and for you lot, it's fixed at that. And the reason for making it an annual subscription is because for the venture capital investors, that's what they want. That's what they want. Okay, that's the reason why. On that as well. Okay, Edmundo, just email me the questions. You're an apprentice. I'll answer them for you. Don't worry in detail. Don't worry at all. Kevin, Patrick, you are in. How much money you can make really depends upon the business plan, but how much capital depends on two things. How much money you can make depends on two things: how much capital you have and how many signals you follow. Okay, how many signals you follow and how much trading capital you have. Obviously, it's as simple as that. All lifetime updates are free from me. Don't worry about that at all. If you can't get through, I think Patrick is having a problem getting through. Just try again, because I think there's a couple of licenses. If there aren't, if you still can't get through, it means that the license may have gone, I'm afraid. Okay, so I'll be sorry about that. Yeah, it's designed for beginners. The manual, downloading it, installing it. If you have takes more than 10 minutes, just email me to download, and I'll download it for you. You don't have to be computer literate. Just email me, and I'll do it for you as well. That's not a problem. Okay, in terms of brokers, Alec, you're going to get an email with the names of the 3 brokers I like. The third one you can use to download the trading live real-time data on the MT4 platform. You don't need to fund the account to do it, so it is completely free. The 2 ebooks are free as well. I don't own a broker. I don't own a broker. I want you to be clear. I don't own any broker at Mundo as well. On that, any more questions coming in, just give them to me. It was designed, this was designed for you to have a day job or topping up your pension and being away from the screen. You see, initially it was designed for me so I could meet investors. Because that's what I needed to do for the hedge fund, okay, so that it could be automated as much as possible. Otherwise, how can you run a hedge fund and raise capital and be in front of the screen? You can't. Got it? So that was the reason for it. Saturday webinars are only for apprentices. Yes, the 2 free signed books are for apprentices. You get to keep those even if you decide it's for you. How many ask for the money back? 10% roughly will say trading's not for them and ask for money back within the first 30 days. So no worries at all. That's roughly the numbers there. Can you start with a little $2,000? Yes. In actual fact, all my hedge fund staff when they're being trained up, start with $1,000 in their account, because I don't want them losing my money basically on that. So yes, you can start with as little as $1,000 with the broker I teach you. What if you're going on holiday? Don't worry, it's yours for life. The license and the mentoring is yours for life. It is lifetime mentoring from me, my life for life. Obviously, if I die tomorrow, but it is for life. Those webinars again you've asked for on Saturdays, stop losses, single webinar on that at 11 a.m. Then every hour on the hour, one on entries, then the next hour on limit orders, then the next hour on money management, the next hour on trading psychology, and then finally at 4 o'clock on adding to profitable positions. If you can't make them, don't worry, I'll accommodate you as well. No, 70% of the people just use the indicator. They only bothered about the indicator and nothing else, so don't worry about that. Takes about 10 minutes to download and install the indicator if you're computer literate. If you're not, and it takes longer than that, don't worry. There's simple videos and manuals to even show you how to load the indicator, let alone anything else. All of you have signed up. Please, please, please put your name in as well on the let me know that you've signed up so I can give you a shout out, because I love the creating a little community amongst the apprentices that I have. Yes, that's a very good question, because I've mentioned this before. I will seed people. If you've got a profitable track record for 6 to 12 months using the indicator, I will look to seed you, give you funding so you can trade with extra capital, so that you can then use that to raise capital off friends and family. We're more than happy to look at that. It's not a problem, because think about it. If you're profitable, what do I care giving you some extra capital? The money's going to still be mine. The profits are going to be mine. What do I care? And you've shown the track record of being profitable. You're actually making money for me. Thanks. You'll be working for me. So that's not a problem as well. Edmundo, just email me your question there, my friend, and the other ones that you have, and I'll go through them. Well, actually, I've got a great question here. I work full time. Is the indicator really something I could do for 15 minutes before and after work? Actually, yes. See, what I love about the trading method is how flexible it is. You're not on your computer. And if you miss a trade, the way things are set up, it's completely fine, as you can just enter the next one. Don't forget, the market is open 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, so you can trade before and after work. Okay, I've only got 2 licenses left. Apprentices who've just signed up, give me about 10 minutes just to have a cup of tea and then send you the emails, get you signed on, and we can get to work. You can download the indicator. You didn't have the apprenticeship and the mentoring part, but I'll deal with you in just a second. Adriano, yes, I believe there's 2 left, so please try and hurry up. I've sent you an email with a link as well, Adriano. You should have it, and look on your junk mail folder as well. If there's any more questions, people, please ask me quickly, because I've got to go back now to my apprentices. I'm afraid I've got to go to my apprentices very quickly. So forgive me for that. Any more last minute questions, people? Edmundo, apprentices who are already on, just email me your questions if you wish. But everyone else, just let me know if you've got any questions at all. Oh, I've got one more, I think, last minute question. It's Louise. She loves doing this. She does it every webinar. She does my trades. Yes, she said, look at Australian dollar, US dollar 5-minute bars again. She goes, it's coming back up. Yes, doll, you're if you don't mind me calling you a doll, you're lovely. We went long during the webinar, as you saw. It came off a bit and it's gone back up again. All right, as I said it would. We're still in on that. She's making her money. It's not the highest point it's been during the webinar, but it's right up there. So congratulations. That's my job. I want you to make money from this. If you need my hand-holding to do it, you've got it for life. You don't have to pay each week, each month, or anything else, but it's yours for life. Okay. Adriano, I'll resend that again. No worries. I'll resend it again. Please check your email. ASAP, please, Adriano, but I'll resend that right now, so you've got the link to sign up. I think with you on, there'll be either none or 1 left. I'm not sure which, but please check your spam folder as well. You should have that link right now. Any last questions? Yes, I'm having a webinar just for the apprentices on Saturday. Not right now, Edmundo, but on Saturday. Right now, send me your emails and I'll send you more replies, Edmundo. But tomorrow, Edmundo, I've got 6 webinars for my apprentices. Actually, you know, August is the best time to learn, because you should have more time, because it's a holiday time, but also because I love Fridays. I tell you why I love Fridays, because then you can download all of this, look at it over the weekend, really get to grips with it. Come to the webinars tomorrow. You're going to get 6 free webinars for your apprentice as well. Okay, as well. Yes, H. Patel, I've sent you an email link. go to that link or try PayPal if you're having any problems as well. I'll resend it to you, H Patel. I'll just resend it. Forgive me if it gets sent to you again, but just check your spam folder as well. And it should have got through. Okay, so anybody who's still trying to sign up, let me know. I'm holding one for H Patel, holding one for Adriano. So let me know. I better go. Edmundo, send me your questions. Thank you all very much. Yes, you get to keep the books regardless. Got some repeat questions. Yes, it is a one-off lifetime fee. Just to repeat that, one-off lifetime fee. I better go because I've got apprentices to sign up now. Okay, I've got apprentices, my friends, to sign up. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Really appreciate it. And apprentices, I see you on the other side. Thank you all very much indeed for being part and parcel of this. Love you all, my friends. Love you all.